Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Blue Otter League. I am Sharpie, and this is Gitano. And tonight, we've got another matchup for you guys between the legends at Mint OTS and the kings and queens and everyone else in betweens at Final Boss Esports. We're excited to jump right into this BOL Emerald matchup here, and we're going straight into picks and bans. Now, I want to explain to you guys really quick. There have been a lot of issues with spectator link. The client has been crashing a bunch, and so we are going to be watching off of replay files. So if you are watching to this in chat and you're a player already, please don't spoil anything that's going on for previous games. Just want to say that really quick, but we're going to jump right into this. We've got two bans off the table already. How are you feeling tonight, Gitano?
I'm doing great. How about you?
I'm doing well. It's been a good day, so I'm excited to be here and cast some games tonight. It'll be a good time.
For sure. I know last time we got down to one game and we had a little bit of issues and we couldn't continue, so super happy to be back. But let's dive into some of these bans. We see Bragas coming off the table, Gwen, Maokai, Akali, some target bans here, and also possibly a little bit of meta. Gwen just being that horrible top lane that's super oppressive, and who isn't scared of Lady running around with giant pair of scissors?
You know, they tell you when you're young to not run with scissors, and Gwen clearly didn't get the memo. She doesn't just run, she dashes as well. But that's going to be off the table, so people listen to their parents in this draft banning phase. Zeri off the table as well, and the last ban is Nautilus. Would not be surprised to see a first pick's Jinx here, but it's going to be, looks like maybe the Karma instead.
Yeah, Karma's a you-know-what, so got to be careful with the retribution from her there. So yeah, I'm curious to see Zeri taking off table with Jinx, but Jinx being picked up now by the final boss. We'll see if they are truly the final boss, or possibly if they're a side one after the game ends here. We'll see what they want to be pairing with this, if they're going to pick support, or if they're going to go jungle or Rumble for the hover here. Love to see that.
Now, Rumble's an interesting one. Rumble can go top lane. It has some viability in the mid lane, and we've seen a few players across the random pro leagues picking it actually in the support role. So technically a triple flex here for Final Boss Gaming here, as on the flip side, they're picking up another hyper scaling AD carry there in the Twitch. That's one we don't see very often.
Yeah, Twitch just can definitely get that pressure anywhere in the map. You know, you leave him for 2 seconds, he goes invisible, he can run mid lane, he can run pop up behind you, especially with that early Karma poke too. You just don't see the wombo combo happening off the board here. And if Braum does get picked, that shows a little bit more towards that Rumble, probably going towards that top side. Like you said, we've seen mid, possibly jungle, but more towards that top. And Braum with that big giant door just being able to shield all of those Twitch spams, which would be great. Rakan also being picked up, great job being support, a little bit of engage or disengage needed on that side too. So I'm guessing the Karma now will be going towards that mid lane.
Yep, Karma mid seems like the play. It does get picked occasionally for the top lane, but not with much success. So I'm expecting Karma mid. You just have so much prio in that lane. You hit R, you hit Q, and the wave's gone. And you can roam for, top side. You can roam to grubs. You can roam to early dragons to get some extra dragon prio there as well. It's just a great overall blind pick for mid lane, and kind of neutralizes the lane a lot. Now, the Braum, like you're saying, is a great counter against that Twitch ultimate, because those arrows, they pierce through enemies, but the Braum door just prevents that from happening. So, are we going to be the pickup, though, for Final Boss as they lock that in mid? Though this could be some interesting stuff here, because Diana mid has been rising in prio, so we might be actually seeing the Karma top lane here. I know Diana is pretty strong against an Ahri.
And Volibear possibly being hovered here. We also do have a couple more bans coming out. The Yone, the Pantheon, Malphite, and J4. A lot of engage tools being banned out by that final boss on that side. So there's that go button looks like Diana right now, on the other side Shaco. That would be a great pick here on the other side. But that Braum door, it's gotta be made of some antimanium or like mithril or something like that, to resist everything that's coming in. That's like a cap shield almost.
It's definitely going to be a powerful door, and it needs to be powerful against this poke from the Karma, from the Twitch. Are we going to see the Shaco locked in? We do. It's a Shaco in the jungle for Final Boss. So that's going to be a really exciting one to keep an eye on. This Shaco pathing, we've seen it once in LCS this split. River on 100 Thieves picked it in, and they actually got a win with it, surprisingly. So Shaco has some fun early game shenanigans to watch out for. I'm looking at this draft, I'm wondering if it may not actually just be the Volibear top lane with the Diana jungle, or if it's the Karma top, the Diana mid, and the Volibear jungle. There's a bunch of different things that it could be. Did my spectate crash? I think it did. Or not my spectate, my camera.
Yep. Looks like, unfortunately, they're going to have to deal with me for a hot second here, but
I will get that fixed here really quick.
I think we're going to see the normal, possibly, of just the Diana jungle, Volibear top. You definitely see that Riftmaker go on, then you go Hyper Tank, you can go on hit, you can go beat. There's many different ways to build that Thunderlord volley. So, perfect. We'll take it to break here and get back to game here shortly.
I think we can actually just go right into game. I just heard from production that game is ready to go. So why don't we just hop right into it? My camera doesn't work, so who cares? Let's go straight into the game here. We don't need to look at me anyways. Game is more important. Let's transition right over to the game. All right, here we go. Game 1 between Final Boss and Mint. We've got the little fist bumps being popped. They've got a little bit of synergy, but the whole team didn't do it. So only 3 out of the 5 players. They're looking for this spicy little bot ward invade here, and Twitch doesn't know about it. Oh, it's going to drop the ward there. They're going to be okay.
I have to say, Shaco has no items. I'm not sure if it was an early out and just so excited to pick it, but he's got nothing. Maybe it's a new strat I haven't heard about, but yeah, 5 little goon squad there with the Braum can be so devastating. But it looks like Rakan's able to grab a ward here on that other side. Just nice little vision pop there and a 5-star start.
I'm just getting my camera fixed here. I think I've got it fixed. There we go. I think we're good now. Okay, so it'll be fixed for after game 1. But anyways, we're here in no, we had that little bit of an early attempt. Now, what I often see from Shakos is they'll actually do this camp right away and then go straight into invading bot side to try to contest those chickens there next to red buff. But Diana is actually starting top side, which means Shaco is going to be able to go for that invade if he wants to and not deal with Kabu tops there on the Diana at all. So I'll just keep an eye on the Shaco in the mini map. But meanwhile, Butters and Hacks are sneaking around in here, and Butters actually out there going to get some auto attacks on this Jinx.
Yeah, just a little quick poke, that poison burning down just a little bit, but at this Shaco pathing, I'm just super interested to see what he places his presence in first. But it looks like he's just going for a little bit of a clear here. No invades, nothing cheeky here at level 2 going out anywhere. So see what he tends to do after this one here. Diana, great job on that power farming, you know, can gank heavily in that presence, that Kiwi combo, and we'll see if Ari can land some charms here early, get that Karma to step up 1 or 2 paces here. Shaco looks like he's going to be doing a full clear if I'm not mistaken.
Looks like a full clear. First blood happened in the bot side Twitch, and Rakan just somehow caught the Jinx completely unawares, and they've taken the first blood for themselves. Ignite did go down flash for the Rakan as well, and Jinx only blew the ghost. So Jinx must have thought that she can just get out of there, but no. Dies. Goodbye,
Yeah.
Jinx.
I think Twitch was like, ooh, something shiny, and Jinx also happened to look down at the same time, but Twitch was able to recover a little bit more from the shiny presence and unfortunately pick up the kill there. Shaco trying to do something here before he grabs his red bot lane here. This might just be a brawl back and forth here. Just pretend it's ARAM, do the old rinse and repeat, and keep going after it. Diana here looking towards the bot lane.
They are going to see her when on that pixel ward. Yep, they see her now, so Spicy 2 needs to get out of there.
Rakan going in here, Diana trying to do it, Crescent of the Moon. Unfortunately, is not going to get too much out. Braum does have to blow flash. No other subs being burned out here. Jinx on the backside does stun up Diana. I think just a little bit more poke, and she will be headed out here. Great presence over there, relieving a little bit of that pressure and that spicy tuna fish. Maybe taking on a little bit too much of the pepper.
Yep, it was a good attempt there. You do end up blowing the Braum flash, so even more priority bot side for Butters and Hacks, as Brother Otter might be in some trouble here.
Oh yeah, the charm lands. Shaco just being that nuisance over, slowing down with that backstab just a little bit. And good job, Box there, just keeping the Scuttlebug here in aggro. And that's just that presence early of the Shaco. Unfortunately, was going to ward there and just barely gets caught out.
That feels really bad for Brother Otter there on the Karma. Flashed away, but the charm still hits. You're in that narrow corridor, so you don't really have much leeway for flashing side to side. And it just lands. Zeta here might be in a little bit of trouble, though.
Yeah, Shaco, I believe, still has invisible. Smite goes down. Diana does grab it here. Shaco looking for an escape here. Volibear on the other side does go invisible. Gets spot out, puts down the box here. Unfortunately, Volibear got juked a little bit. We'll see if Shaco decides to pull another rabbit out of the hat here, or if he's going to be just running around a bit. Diana does jump into it, does get the Crescent Moon, and will secure the kill.
Kabutops has a kill now. Shaco getting punished for that early invade. Yeah, you set up mid lane pretty well, but AliXO just stays mid and lets Brother Otter roam. Sure, you get that crash, but it's a Karma, so she's able to pick up that wave just fine with that empowered Q. And so Brother Otter on the Karma actually has a bit of a CS lead. That's gonna, and with that kill, Kabutops is gonna be able to run right over to these grubs and pick up. It looks like unless Zeta can do something about this, pick up all three.
Yeah, it looks like two of them going over. Third one might get contested here in a little bit, but they might also just let it reset here. That vision from Scuttle being a little bit of a prio, and it looks like they're just fine with giving Shaco the last and third one here. Dragon being that Infernal Dragon here, we'll see if that's a point of contention here early on, and what will be our soul at the very end here. Twitch getting knocked down a little bit. Khan as well getting stunned up there. That Braum passive, it's just all it takes is just 2 quick shots for you to be in that danger zone, and that stun being recurring over and over and over. And looks like Diana here might have something to say towards the bot lane again. Braum being the next target here. That big giant adamantium tor being thrown out there. Little stun stuff coming up here. Rakan gains a nice job of that knockup, and Braum will fall.
Not only does Braum fall, he burns the Ignite for absolutely nothing at all. So another summoner lost bot side, and another kill goes over. Rakan picks it up again, which is a little unfortunate for Kabutops, but it's going to be nice because these supports, they don't get much gold past the early game. So getting this early goal onto Rakan to allow him to get, you know, that first item all the quicker for that engage, especially because it is a Rakan, is going to be really nice for their engage around those early objectives. So definitely a big lead over here. It is only a 500 gold lead for Mint, but all the priority in the world is to this Twitch and this Rakan. Mid lane going just fine for the Karma, even though she is down 2 kills. Has been able to do just fine, is actually up in CS a bit here as well. And top lane is struggling a little bit, but it's a Rumble lane, so there's not much you can do about that.
Yeah, Rumble just being a big nuisance up top, plus bringing the Ignite rather than the TP there, so there's going to be a little bit more of advantage here towards that late game where Volibear is able to survive. Looks like he is able... Nope, he lost Scuttle barely here. Does get the jump over as well here. They do have a strong presence bottom after picking up those kills. Great ward placement, and they might go for something cheeky here. Level 7 ult by Diana goes down. Everyone flashing away here. Braum soaking up all the damage here with the stand aside. Unfortunately, no kills are going to go down. Everything burned though. They might be looking towards that dragon now. Diana trying to get rid of some vision here. Let's see, end up getting rid of that, and dragon will be the next point of contention.
I want to shout this out really quick to Oprah Winfrey in chat. Congratulations on the reverse sweep the other night on Titan. Well played to you, my friend. And yes, any champion can go any lane if you're brave enough. Anyways, they're going to be taking the dragon here. Is Mint. Kabutops has been kind of running the jungle a little bit, forcing Shaco out of the jungle there earlier, getting the kill, and now picking up 2 of the 3 scuttles, and here the dragon. So a lot of prio to Kabutops here on the Diana.
Yeah, just a really strong start here. Great gains towards the bot lane, getting that prio, and really setting themselves up for those objectives here. So we'll see what's going to be happening next. We haven't seen anything too crazy with the Shaco as far as lane presence or ganking kind of in the middle of nowhere here. So we'll see if they end up changing that here beyond what kind of happened those first couple minutes towards that blue side. And I'm waiting for Volibear just to turn it around one of these days and just summon the Thunder down on top of Rumble. But with a Dark Seal start early, you don't want to start feeding into that and really start grabbing all of that AP up there.
Rumble is doing a fairly decent job of keeping these waves shoved and just constantly pushing in onto this bear there in the top side. So Rumble's, not the Rumble, the Volibear is kind of really unable to do much to get out of this lane, and as this Rumble starts picking up more and more damage, has picked the Sword Shoes, it's going to really start taking over this lane. So Volibear needs to be careful. I'm wondering if maybe Diana, now that she's got level 6, the ultimate is back up, is going to be able to think about, maybe I can go topside and relieve some of this pressure off of the Volibear. So we'll have to see.
Yeah, it's right now I feel like the world is her oyster. She's got plenty of options here. Strong start on the items, and she can really do anything here. Ari Spirit rushing in, lands the charm, which is so effective. Just that 1 or 2 steps forward on that pace, and it looks like Diana being very patient down here. Does see a little bit of a walk in as well. Doesn't want to see anything, but unfortunately, tower dive here. Flashes the ults in there, pops up for a small bit. Unfortunately, the tower range is just out of reach, and that I thought she would have died right there. The tower range on that must have glitched out for a half second because she got very lucky to escape.
Yep. Lives with the sliver of health. Ari and Karma. Oh, I'm looking over there. Ari just burned the flash. Has to escape away from Brother Otter, who, even though is down 0-3-0, is still maintaining some pressure there in the lane. Just Karma things there. Shaco's going to pick up another 3 Void Grabs, but it's only 4, so no break point, no free little grubblings when we get to towers for either team. Well played to Shaco to make sure that Kabutops can't get away from it, but oh, that's the problem.
The Rumble going down the equalizer, but a little bit of health shield from the Thunder God there to even it all up. Shaco here looking for something, does spot out Diana as well, goes invisible, does pop out the box. We got a double Shaco. Which one is the real one? Unfortunately, it doesn't matter. They both hurt just the same.
Zeta getting a solo kill in basically the same spot that he was killed off by Kabutops just a few minutes ago. He's gonna launch his phone the wrong way. But yeah, solo kill back over to Shaco, who has picked up the first item. I forget what that item is called. Serpent's Fang, I believe it's called. Yep. And here goes Ari, though, looking for an engage.
Yeah, Spirit Rush unfortunately misses the charm and the Spirit Orb, but still has a little bit of damage there, throwing everything out and just grabbing that pressure.
Here's Kabutops, though. Ari has no ult.
Coming around the side, and we see that vision work, so she has no idea what's going on here. Does clear the wave, still pushed up. Moon Crescent being thrown out, unfortunately, just a little too far away to hit anything to follow up. Does find it at the end there. Ult comes down, and a great shutdown for Diana.
Goodbye, Ari, but here's Rakan. We got another fight
trying to get
side.
towards that Jinx. Double charm there. Knock up by Braum as well. Jinx trying to find a little bit of range to start getting that. Stun up, does end up getting it though, but does shove away for Rakan. So a little bit of skirmish back and forth, but with no jungler, it turns out to be that even trade.
Yeah, Jinx is just playing a little bit too far back. Braum is just so safe, and Twitch doesn't really have much damage left. It's built more for that Advanced Scepter and Pickaxe, so a bit more sustain, but Butters might actually be in trouble here, has to burn the flash.
It has to burn the flash. There is the jump to me part there, but unfortunately it looks like Diana's perfect time here. There's no vision going down, and they don't see you just yet, but Shaq on the other side as well decides to step up as well. We've seen angles on both sides. They are going for this. Rakan does happen to go and knock up Jinx. She is ignited. Rakan has to flash away. Diana on the backside, though, unfortunately is going to find Jinx, and there's 2 more members of Shaco grabbing that ult. They're making it a 3v3 as of right now. Ooh, Spike's team go down. That fake Shaco trying to run in just to give a little bit of a maybe you can give me Ari on the backside here. Rumble also joining. Remember, there is no TV, so Volibear can really grab a lot of pressure here topside. Charm going down, does land on the Twitch as well. The Equalizer going down, almost rubbing everyone down. Ari, great Spirit Rush picking up from that kill earlier and ends up getting that. And now Dragon.
That was a really nice equalizer from the Shack. Basically make sure both Butters and Hacks die. They're under tower, and Ari, and when they get really low, and that just allows Ari with those extra Spirit Rushes, his Brother Otter is gonna get charmed up. Goodbye.
Yeah, just there was nowhere for them to go. They were pinned between the wall and the tower, and that equalizer just being the perfect spot, being able to come down, and they do get the mountain because of it.
Yep, was that Mountain? I think it was
I, or maybe it was
Chemtech, actually.
there. Oh, sorry.
It was Chemtech,
Mountain
and
is
it's
now
Mountain
the
Direct
new
that's
one.
stunning. There we go.
And it looks like the Bear will end up getting the tower. But it looks like first tower was taken earlier by Ari in the mid lane. Jinx getting super low here, having to run away. Braum as well does have the standby B. Shackle on the other side, possibly looking at something. I don't believe he was spotted out, but we'll be here just in case.
Yep, they see that box go down, so they know to just kind of run away. All in. Be careful, there's the charm.
Ari
But
kind of
it's
on
not
the
gonna be
wrong
much.
side of the tracks here. Does
Ooh.
Beard rush towards that other side, outplaying a little bit there. The bear being the target, but you got to be careful. Karma also there as well. Flash from Diana does zoom in there. Dashes one more time, does not have the ult, but the passive from the 3 proc autos does do enough damage here, and she will be picking up the kill.
This game kind of feels like, oh, that Jinx almost killed Kabutops there. That was really close. But this game so far feels like the battle of the junglers. Zeta 3-1, Kabutops 5-2, and nobody else is really doing too much in the game. It's all about these two junglers here early on in this match. It's been pretty even back and forth about they both had some say in the grubs, they both had some say in the dragons, and now Kabutops picking up that Rift Herald off the back of the kill onto AliXO. So the jungle matchup has been very fun to watch here between this Diana and the Shaco.
Yeah, super eventful, just going back and forth. You know, it's like chess, just moves and counter moves keep on getting played here on this bot lane. I feel like they're both just kind of on edge just because there's been so much presence down there. They're wondering when the next gank is going to be happening. It looks like Dan after this red might be pathing down towards that bot side and maybe grabbing another kill here too.
Kabutops is heading down bot side. Zeta is moving towards top side. Nothing too much has been happening top lane. It's just kind of been the story of Shaq just shoving in the lane and then Colin doing what they can to catch the wave. Yeah, I mean, when Shaktis did roam bot side to get that dragon and those couple kills, it allowed the Volibear to really push that lane hard and end up actually taking the tower there top side. But outside of that, it hasn't been too much. Ari did manage to get a tower mid lane there as well. But yeah, just kind of a quiet game for the soul lane. It's just all been about these junglers and fights in the jungles. We see another one right here.
But equalizer going, unfortunately not getting anything. Volibear going towards that top, over the top, actually over everyone, jumping over Shackle Clone, getting the best of it. Unfortunately, there is no charm there from Ari. Karma on the backside trying to keep her on the leash. Unfortunately, Spirit Rush being used up as well. Shackle on the backside will fall, and Ari, unfortunately, does not have that Spirit Rush anymore, and that ult being called down by Volibear.
Oh!
Jinx coming in, unfortunately not doing enough damage just yet, but could have been super close there.
Hax coming in on that roam timer was so clutch to keep Colin alive there. Otherwise, it would have been another kill over to Final Boss Gaming. But Rakan with the CC and the lockdown was just too great, and the shield as well onto Colin ensures the double kill for this Arctic Bear. And now Volibear is feeling very comfortable in the matchup against the Rumble topside. They've got a 2,000 gold lead for themselves. Dragon will be spawning in about 1 minute, so I expect with teleport available for both Karma and Volibear and no teleport top for the Rumble, they want to use that TP pressure to start pushing these lanes as hard as they can and then use that flank option to make sure they can get the second dragon for themselves.
Yeah, that Rift smashing into that mid lane. Ari, I'm not sure if there's a little bit of a DC issue there. Yeah, you know, kind of walked in, unfortunately, in the wrong part of town there. Shackle on the backside towards them. We'll see if he will be doing anything. Meanwhile, topside, Volibear going 1v1, and they don't know which clone is which. They don't want to take too much aggro, but it doesn't matter. You got the Diana coming down, smashing everything in sight. Jinx Rocket shooting right down. No one's going to be backing, so no unfortunate timing issues there with getting the clutch. But with that Spear Visage, that Kindle Gem, that Volibear is looking more scary by the minute.
Yep, Dragon's up in 10 as well. Shaco is dead for another 15, so that means Kabutop's roaming down there already. Volibear teleporting in to secure that Dragon. Volibear is now 4-0, has that Spirit Vision, has that Hollow Radiance as well for just so much MR against that that Ahri and the Rumble. So second Dragon here gonna go down over to Diana. And this lead is starting to slowly grow here for Mint Gaming. They've got a 3,000 gold lead. Ahri has been having a decent game, but then we just saw a minute ago got caught lacking, looking at top lane or looking at bot lane or looking at something, because the moment that damage started to hit and you saw that red border around your screen, Ali's like, wait a second, something's going wrong here. Looks back at their own camera and says, wait, I'm being attacked here. Tries to ult out of it, but it's just too late.
Yeah, that Volibear now with that TP advantage doesn't have it at this moment, but he can always 1v1 any side lane that happens here. Tanking up the tower, looking for that Ahri. Spirit Rush going down to having to get out of there. Karma as well, trying to poke out just a little bit. It looks like Shaq will be making his way down, as well as Rakan. We could be seeing another tower dive. This bear is tanky. He's going to call down everything he has. Does use the ult here, trying to get the tower quickly before anything happens. Jigsaw coming in, does hit the Karma. Rakan as well, trying to dash over to help protect. And the Stand By Me by Braum as well. Meanwhile, in the mid lane, we see this Jinx and Rumble going out. Twitch, not yet invisible, but popping all
the big ult.
Great ult by Diana. Moving the two in. Twitch just stayed on the outside. Equalizer, unfortunately not finding anyone but Diana, and Twitch picking up that double.
Yeah, Twitch has the Blade of the Ruined King, and so that means a lot of sustain, a lot of attack speed, and a lot of cut down. As Hax might be in trouble here. We might have another fight going down.
Yeah, a little back and forth here. We got Shackle just running in there. We don't know which is which yet, because you always don't want to assume, but now with Pat, the charm going down to the Volibear. Unfortunately, the bear is way too tanky at this point. Braum laying down the door for the ult there. Ahri trying to just put everyone towards the outside. Spirit Rush being used as well. Charm on the bear, but the bear looks pretty healthy yet.
The bear's going to be just fine. Sure, the Rakan burned the ultimate, but it's not the end of the world. There's no objectives up for a while besides that Baron, but it's only been up for about a minute, so you want to give this Baron the chance to live for a little bit before you do ultimately knock him down, so you can you can edge your clothing with that purple trim. But for now, they're just gonna throw down a couple ultimates and look to see if maybe they could find something, but it doesn't result in anything. And no harm, no foul. They reset to spend their gold, which is now a 3,500 gold lead for Mint. They've got the Dragon advantage there as well for themselves. They have the tower lead 3-2. And they're looking to scale quite nicely into this game. Twitch has 4 kills, the Volibear has 4 kills, and that Diana 6, 4, and 7 has just been so pivotal in this lead that they picked up for themselves in the first 20 minutes of the game.
Yeah, Trailer being picked up by that Karma as well, a little bit more utility, trying to get that Twitch fed a little bit more mobile here as they're running around here. It's your Knight's Vow on the other side of that Braum, just helping soak up a little bit more of that damage. Ahri wearing that red and blue there, but unfortunately the bear doesn't really care too much here as he is wearing one as well. Looks like everyone's going to be meeting towards that Baron side here. They're trying to get the scuttle to get that for sure granted vision. Equalizer going down here, not going to find too much, but does pressure them out. Diana is going to be roaming here towards the top side. Shackle just placing a few boxes, so no fight as of right now, but we're right on that verge.
They're looking for a fight. Here it
is.
There
we go. Rumble being the first one out here. Getting tanked by that Twitch. TP going down as well. The Volibear finds the backside. Twitch still invisible, trying to find a good target here. Jinx being that next one. Huge ball as well. Shackle towards the backside, but they believe that is the phone. They're going to be leaving that. Braum will be the next one to be picked up by that Diana. Here comes the real Shackle. Volibear. Oh, never mind. Still the fake. Even fake out there. The Baron being up here. Shax could still do something sneaky with the save here. Charm being landed on Volibear. Not going to do too much till we find a prio target here. Spirit Rush being used to go in. Does get stunned by the bear. And this Shaco is just trying to find a way to edge himself in here. Ignite being used. Volibear, great shield being produced. They're about 4th HP. Still going down here. Could anything happen here? Diana finding the kill on Ahri and towards the backside. Great shutdown. Jigsaw unfortunately missing it just by about 2 or 3 seconds there. They're trying to find that Shackle, but he's so elusive. We'll see if he ends up getting out. Woo. Woo. And unfortunately, the Twitch just stays right in that pocket and finds him. What a fight.
Jinx came really close there to stealing that Baron away because I think the execute would have been enough to get the Baron, but the members weren't quite close enough to the Baron. If they had been maybe a step forward, that Jinx explosion, that radius would have hit the Baron and probably stolen it away for Henry Rocks 22, but doesn't happen, and it's just a little bit unfortunate. And now that 3,000 gold lead is up to a 6,000 gold lead. Dragon has spawned. It's another mountain. This would put Mint Gaming to that mountain soul point as well. And Kabutops wants to walk in and start getting some cryo forward. Ari has teleported around behind, though. They don't know that she's back there either.
No vision at all. Diana, unfortunately, being the one being pitcher. Equalizer going down, grabbing two out there. Diana going down right before the ult does land. Looks like going towards the backside of Jinx. She does get a couple of free fire range as well. Ari having to rush out of there.
Down.
Big Jinx will be going down here. That's not Jinx. The Twitch will be going down. A big part of the fight. Bear on the backside there. We got 3 low. We'll see if he does get ended up chunking down or if he's gonna find a couple of kills here. Looks like he's going for the Jinx X, but unfortunately not able to get there with all the Shackle boxes being feared out, and that Jinx is still popping those autos from the far range here. Dragon still up. Charm being landed, but Karma on the other side. That Mantra Q just unfortunately hitting still like a truck. 1 and 6, it doesn't matter. You are going to be hitting like a freight train.
And that fight could have been so much better for Final Boss, but Jinx doesn't have that Infinity Edge completed just yet. If the Jinx had just a little bit more gold and had the IE, I think that fight goes the other way because Henry Rocks was free firing for quite a while in that fight, but it doesn't happen. And the fight is ultimately going to go in favor of Mint. They did give over a shutdown or two because Butters there on the Twitch was 7-1 and did die. So a bit of gold went back to Final Boss there, but the Dragon is going to be secured by Kabutops. They're walking forward to see if they can pressure maybe a little bit onto Shaco, but they decide better of it and go back to clearing their mid lane and seeing what they can do with this lead that is slowly growing, and see if they can do something with this Baron buff because it's been a minute or so and they haven't really pushed any waves with it yet.
Yeah, still wearing that purple, but no grouping just yet after that giant team fight. And I think it was really that Ari being TPing on the backside without the vision that really caused that havoc and that mispositioning by the team. So they are lucky to get out of there as much as the Jinx was free firing towards the backside. Now complete with that IE as well, getting that Zeal picked up a little bit more attack speed as well, and that Twitch just forever scaling, and that timer's got to be in your head. You know, we maybe have a fight or two more before he really starts hitting that prime 3 at Twitch.
3 out of Twitch. Jinx did finish the Infinity Edge though, so Jinx is going to be a little bit stronger. Is closing in on that third item there as well, but AliExo's in trouble.
Yeah, Ari has no vision here, but they started back up. I'm not sure if they're playing it for him here. Spirit Rush going down, that ult coming, the burn on it is just not enough as Braum does do the stand by me. Still, I want to say that was within close to single digits there. At one point does escape though. Twitch ult down for a little bit. Looks like it's already a quarter of the ways up there, so very low cooldown, and it looks like this tower will be the next thing on the menu here. Shackle just waiting in the wings up there just in case someone decides to solo tower shot here. It looks like nothing will be happening of it, and they're just gonna walk away nice and easy.
Just walking back away. So ultimately with this Baron, nothing really came of it. They just kind of use it to secure a mountain dragon, and that's about it. Sure, you're on basically a triple soul point here because you can give over the next 2 and still get the soul, but I don't think that was very efficient of a Baron at all, especially because after you had that Baron, your gold lead didn't really grow at all. It stayed basically stagnant. Jinx is allowed to hit that Infinity Edge and is going to be closing in on the third item. We'll probably have it by the time the next Baron or Dragon fight happens. And so Final Boss are probably just making the call to say, hey, look, we managed to hold off the Baron without really giving anything away. Let's not do much for fighting. Let's wait until Jinx can get that third item. And then maybe we can look for a fight from there. As speaking of 3 items, Twitch just picked up an Infinity Edge.
Yeah, now the real fun games begin here. Unfortunately, Shack on the backside, finding out that Twitch just stepped up a little too much flash going on for Khan as well, trying to keep it alive. There is some pre-firing going towards the backside. Spirit Rush used by Ari. TP on the backside for that pair. Unfortunately, it is a 5v1. No one else to join, and maybe a little bit of overzealousy right there. Flash going down by Ari, unfortunately not finding the charm. Towards the backside, Diana can maybe look for a play, but without the Twitch ult, there's no volley here for Slate. And just grab 3, raining down towards that Ari. Everyone gets down. The equalizer going down towards that middle. Unfortunately, not finding anyone else, but does pick up a kill, making it that 5v2. Another kill going down. Shackle on the backside, just wreaking havoc, and Jinx being able to take down that tower with the amount of attack speed. What a play back and forth.
There goes the gold lead, and Final Boss still have bounties, so they can get a tower here or something with this massive mistake, this overstep from basically the entirety of Mint. Colin just teleported in when it was a 5v3 and just dies, and then Kabutops splashes in and has a really nice 4-man ult, but the team still isn't really there and ready for a fight. And Kabutops dies. Brother Otter dies as well. Gets locked up by those concussive blows passive from Braum. And goodbye Karma. Now, gold lead and all this tempo is slowly swinging back in favor of Final Boss. As they're going to be able to step up here, pick up, if Ari can get to it, maybe pick up a top lane bounty, but maybe she's going to think better of it. Nope, she might just go for it here.
Yeah, she does have TP up as well. They know Baron is up, but there's no one contesting her yet. Dragon also coming up, so now here's the real test. Are you going to give up the Dragon? Are you going to be fighting for it? It's Baron the call. Turret being destroyed there and picking up a little bit more bounty gold. Oh god, and there's no vision for Khan. Can jump out of there nice and safely though. Shaco towards the backside of that, grabbing towards the sport, which on free firing towards that backside there. Shaco clones. Going to be recalled back. Ari Spirit rushes in, does find the Twitch. Great charm land. There, backside. Nice Diana, great ult, picking up 3 there. Ari being the lone ranger here as they are trying to get down on that. Nice knock-up happening, but unfortunately they don't want to press too much further. Shaco still pretty healthy on the backside, and health bars are super low on the team.
Yeah, that was a fight. Butters got caught there pretty early, but Kabutops has finished 4 items now on this Diana, jumps in with that ultimate and just completely turns the fight back around. Now on the flip side, Zeta is most likely going to be able to take a dragon back unless Brother Otter and Colin can do something about this. They might actually try to force the Shaco back off this objective. If they've got the pink board down, Ali is going to miss the charm, and here's Kabutops.
Yeah, Spirit Rush, unfortunately, Zeta going down there because there's not too much with that pink board 2 giving that true vision. Dragon does go down, and that should be sole point here. A little bit more tank added to this team, which you don't want to see. Their already engaged button is already hard enough to peel off there. It looks like Grom's going to be looking for something. Nope, just going to let them recall, and Baron being the next point here. We'll see when that fight pops out.
Baron's going to be the next fight. It was a good attempt there from Zeta to try to sneak the dragon away while Mint was kind of caught thinking about what they wanted to do next and clearing out vision topside. But Brother Otter and Colin are wise to his moves, sneak back around there behind the dragon pit and force Shaco to use that I forget what the item is called, what the ability is called, where he disappears and goes somewhere else. It's called something, but I don't remember what it was.
Being sneaky, that's all we need to know. He's appearing and disappearing. And
yes, Shaco decides to be sneaky, and that means there's nowhere to go when Kabutops comes roaming down, gets the kill, get the dragon, and now this game, it was starting to look good back for Final Boss, but giving over that triple mountain soul at this point is just going to make it way more difficult for the Chase to hit through the team of Mint.
Yeah, just one more obstacle now. They were knocked down a couple of barriers, but slowly coming back. Shaco towards that bot side there on red. We'll see if they want to be looking at something. They do see the vision being cleared out there by the Rumble. Volibear still having that TP, so he can match anything that's going on there. They just want to hunker down, let Volibear push. Looks like Ari's going to be matching that. Does not have a matching TP though, so if a fight does break down, that bear is going to be wreaking havoc.
Yep, Volibear's got the teleport. Ari, yep. So yeah, they could just look, if they know that Ari doesn't have, oh, Shaco's bot side, can we take a look at this fight?
Yeah, Volibear trying to get out of there. Will call down
Charm
the
does
storm,
land.
does grab 2. Charm being landed as well. There's going to be so much burn and just slow damage here coming out there. See if he does get the shield. Does Spirit Rush being used there. Spirit Orbs does blow the Zanyas as well. The fake Shaco does get exploded there. Gives a little bit of room with those boxes. They did start the Baron on the other side, and they do end up wearing that purple once again.
Yep, I don't know why Shaco is down there trying to mess with Colin. That's a very tanky, a 4 tank item Volibear there in the bot lane, and so you're not going to be able to do too much to it. So it's kind of wasting your time and just giving over the Baron for free unless Kabutops somehow miss-smites it. And looking at now Colin's going to get right back into the lane, push forward, pick up that tower, and now might look to try to get a kill onto Ali here as well.
Yeah, has to use the Spirit Rush to get out of there. A lot of just free hits. Rumble being on the
Oh,
other side.
no!
Unfortunately, Zanya's being blown and still runs away with that Spirit Rush. The amount of damage though that bear is taking out, he can definitely 1v1, almost 2v1. Does jump in. Rumble in the jungle, not today. I'm going to take you right at the tower. Yeah, it looks like towards that mid side too. Just a nice little pincer move now. You kind of have to pick your poison. Are we giving up bot lane? Are we shoving it mid here? It looks like they're going to try to go towards bot. Does end up losing tower. Everyone's still along that tower, ready to jump in with that Rakan here. We'll see if Volibear ends up trying to take that inhibitor as well. Looks like the next tower, Shackle towards the backside, which has to be careful here on that. Another tower going down. There's no triggers being pulled here on that side. Finally, Shackle looking towards the backside, does put down the block.
Oh, the Diana!
It does be it. Unfortunately, they all start pressing forward here. 3 beams popped up for Khan, knocking up the Shackle, giving Twitch great time in the front lane here. Really just start hammering everything down. One inhib goes down. Looks like Diana will be picking up another one there for that RA. But unfortunately, an equalizer going down. I don't think it's going to be enough to break up the fight here. Rumble is going to be the solo one out. That's going to be 1 tower, 2, and the Nexus.
Yep, it was a slow push there for the Baron on the first time around, but the second time around they say, hey, we've got this Baron. We saw that final boss did take a nice little fight there. We need to be a lot more decisive when we get the second one. Zeta goes bot lane to mess with the Volibear. Kabutops sees that opportunity and says, hey, this is my chance to pick up a Baron. They take it, they rush straight into the base. Volibear does his thing, pushes the Ahri off, gets the solo kill there onto the Rumble, and from there they push in, win the team fight, and take the game. And now they're up in the series 1-0, Mint on top. Are you there?
Yep, sorry. I got giant leg spikes here. The bear froze out the internet too. He was calling down everything and broke the internet. Great first game, back and forth there. It looks towards that mid game. It could swing either way, but unfortunately, as you said, that second Baron being taken over and really just that push. Ooh, that was tough.
Yep, so game 1 going to go in favor of Mint. So don't go anywhere though. This is not a best of 1 like the LCS. We're better than that. This is a best of 3. We've got more action coming to you shortly, right after this brief pause. Welcome back, everybody, for game two. Game one in favor of Mint. They pull it off in that second Baron push, and they win the game off of it. But now we're in for game two. It's a new opportunity for Final Boss to say, listen, that was the first boss, and now it's time for the final one. It's time for us to live up to our name and pull up where it counts. Let's get into the ban and pick ban phase. As we see, just like the first game, the Gwen is off the table. Just want to note they have swapped sides. So there will be a side change here, and Final Boss will now be on blue side. But yeah. First ban seems the same so far.
Yeah, nothing too crazy coming out for bans that we haven't seen in the first one, but what a hell of a game, that Final Boss. I felt like that was a pretty good Final Boss fight, going back and forth. Not quite sure what to expect. Junglers being a great presence in both sides, and a little bit of deja vu coming out back and forth to each side. We'll see if there's any changes at all. Oh, possibly the bear here getting banned out, because that was scary last time. A girl running with scissors, super scary. Giant bear that can strike you with thunder, possibly even more scary.
And here we go. First pick, I'm expecting to see the Jinx or the Karma here yet again. It looked pretty good for Final Boss when they had the Jinx, so I wouldn't be surprised if they pick it. No, but the Maokai is going to be the pick. They're at least hovering it right now. Yep, there it is. It's locked in. So they banned that away game one, and this time they're going to be able to pick it for themselves for the jungle. Or maybe the support.
A giant treant, also super scary. Braum looking towards that other side did do a lot of great work. Great defensively, engaging, disengages as well with that door, smashing it kind of everywhere, and just that passive as well. Jinx being picked up here as you stated you thought it would, and it does. Just a wombo lethal combo. You throw down the traps behind someone, you stun them up with Braum. Now they have two chains of CC to kind of get through. And Kai'Sa being hovered towards that other side here. Many ways to build her. There's about 2 or 3, core ways to build. Really keeping that door open for what they want to pick.
Now, Final Boss better pick up the Karma here. No, they might go for the Rumble instead. I think Karma, you need to take the Karma away because Mint might just pick it up for themselves. And a Jinx with a Braum for frontline and a Karma to keep her moving quickly and shield it up is an absolute terror to deal with in the mid to late game. I would not be surprised if they pick it up, but they might pivot and go for the Brand instead. They want to match fire with fire here with the Rumble and then the Brand back to back. So interesting picks. They're pivoting away a little bit from what they picked in game one, and now we're got our first bit of the picks taken away for the first half of the pick phase. We'll go into the ban phase for part two. Pantheon going to be taken away yet again, it seems like, and we'll have to see if the rest of the bans stay the same. Maybe the Karma does go away. I'm expecting that Brand to be probably in the jungle because that's where it's been best for now.
Yeah, just being a great presence in that team fight, just spreading the wildfire like crazy. There is the Karma being banned out, as you stated. They might be picking up here. That would have kind of really completed a great backline between Brand and Karma, and Jinx really kind of spreading around the damage there where that Braum soaks up anything. So Pantheon being banned, Shaco as well. They don't want to see that towards the backside. Had a really good presence there in the game. Great job getting on Twitch, but unfortunately just not enough to really seal the deal for it. But great presence. And Garen being banned out.
Interesting. Hello, low budget LCS. Good to see you guys here rating in on the chat. Just wanted to say hello to y'all really quick. Thanks for stopping in, and I hope you enjoy this game too that's coming on. We're gonna see the Ahri locked in, which is gonna mean it's the Brand for the jungle, unless you're me and I've played Brand top lane. So we did also see Ahri top lane in the LEC, so there's a possibility for that, as Yasuo is the lock-in in B4 here. We'll have to see what they pick up for B5. Maybe it's the Malphite angle for the top side. I was
just going to say Malphite for the top side. Rumble can go in the jungle, and it is just going to be a wombo combo nightmare for Mint here if Final Boss does pick it up, or see if they do have another engage option like an Ornn or something else that does have it. But looks like they'll be hovering the Mundo.
Mundo, okay, that's interesting. Mundo blind. I don't know how I feel about that one. Mundo has a lot of counter picks that can deal with him just fine there in the top lane, or just scale alongside with him. So interesting as well to see that they, outside of maybe the Maokai, because that Q does give a little bit of a knock up, there really isn't a lot of setup for the Yasuo, and the Tom Kench is a really nice pick up here in the top lane. It's going to be the top lane Tom Kench up against the Mundo. And so picking up the Kench here is really good as well, because let's say Jinx gets ulted by Yasuo. Tom Kench can say, not today. I'm going to put you in my belly and make sure that ult doesn't mean anything and spit Jinx out into the back. So taking a look at these team comps here, Jinx has a ton of peel. Braum for the front line, Tom Kench for the safety, Brand having that ult bouncing back and forth and slowing down, Ahri with the charm as well. There's a lot of setup potential for this Jinx to just go ham in these team fights. So what do you think about this game here, game 2? Who do you favor for this one?
Oh, that's just I have to go towards mid. As you just stated, there's so much utility on that side that they can kind of move around, hover, whether they're engaging, disengage, unbunching the Kench, that Ahri charm. We've seen that land so many times to really start out that fight, or grab that person, start to walk forward, and that Braum follow up there, the stun that's going to be happening. On the other side, the Yasuo, you start getting, great work on him, and all of a sudden it starts becoming a snowball out of hand. Plus the wind wall, it just needs to be nerfed. It's blocking everything in sight.
It really is. I think that Kai'Sa has a good, if you can get this Kai'Sa moving quickly to reposition over and over in these fights, there's potential that the Kai'Sa could be your win con. But speaking of win cons, game 2 is locked. Game 2 is loaded up. Let's hop into game 2 and see who does end up pulling off the win here in this match between Mint and Final Boss. Here we go for game 2.
Welcome to
Yeah, we'll see if they do any cheeky starts here. Last time they went towards that bot side, went as 5, but it doesn't look like anything's going to be happening here. Just a little bit of hover around there just in case someone does poke their head out. Everyone grabbing their items. Nothing too crazy here. It looks like TPs kind of all around the board. No ignites being popped out, so those have to worry about being a little bit of a tired champions.
Yep, they want to play a bit more scaling. They want to play more for their lanes, more for prio instead of the 1v1, which is probably the smart move when you're in a more competitive setting like this. Goes for both AD carries as well. So Tom Kench and the Mundo both also took the ghost, which is interesting. So in this game, we only have 6 flashes. No, wait, we have 8 flashes. But we only have 8 flashes and 4 ghosts, which is kind of uncommon to see in competitive.
Yeah, people are going to be running around like their life depends on it, which it probably will be once these team fights started. If it's anything like game 1 was just a rinse and repeat back and forth, and it was a great game to watch on both sides here. We'll see where the junglers end up going more towards that bot side like they did in game 1 and kind of having that prio down there to get someone ahead, or they end up just kind of roaming around. Top fight is just the wet noodle cleavers versus giant tongues. Also not optimal, If I'm gonna get hit by a giant cleaver or a giant tongue, I'm not sure which one I want.
Well, you have to remember, it's not just any tongue, it's the tongue of a river demon. And I feel like that's a little bit more intimidating than, say, a dog giving you a kiss on the cheek. But, so I don't know if it's quite so one-sided, but either way, we're going to find out in this game as they're getting some really nice push. Henry Rocks is going to have to flash, actually. This is a really good level 2 from Butters and Haxes. Oh no, Spicy's really low to flash! First blood to Butters.
Yes, that early level 2, getting that cranked out with the Promet Jinx, just so lethal. Grabbing up that Zap Cannon, just a little bit of extra slowdown, plus the stuns, and both of them blowing the flash. Great job of getting that advantage and really pushing it forward. And I have to correct myself, it's not giant cleavers, it's a giant suitcase by Mundo. I can only imagine, as a giant man with a giant suitcase, and we don't even know what it's full of.
Mundo will do business and travel where he pleases up there in the top lane. As long as Tom Kench is making, if you're Tom Kench, you do kind of say that you have control of the river. And so if Mundo decides I go where I please and I please to take a dip in your river and go take a bath, which Mundo doesn't really do, but maybe he changes it up. Speaking of changing things up, here's Brand topside. The ghost can be popped by the Mundo.
Yeah, trying to get out of here just in time. Does avoid the Lick Demon there. Brand giving a little bit of fire to the flame there on that Mundo, but he'll just walk it off. End up going out. The gank being successful, blowing out that, and looks like Zeta was up top. Just trying to figure out if something was going to happen. Mundo moved all the way around. Still might be looking for something out of Kench. Looks like he is back to go. Meanwhile, towards that mid lane, that Yasuo just throwing out those tornadoes. A little bit of a CS lead, dashing through all the minions that he can and grabbing that poke. Meanwhile, in the bot lane, let's see if some repeat happening. There are not a lot of sums here, only exhaust and ghosts being burned down here. But there is a giant wave being pushed into their tower.
Yasuo is having a really nice time here against Brother Otter's Ari up about 10 CS already at only 4 minutes. Gonna miss one there, but is having a nice little game here. Hax is pushing forward to clear that vision, does have the backup of Kabutops up there, but did get spotted there because they have that deep ward on that bush. So they're gonna know Kabutops is kind of roaming around. That means Zeta can look for Bit and invade topside, but there's no camps to take away.
Yeah, pretty much everything's almost clear across the border. Jinx is really trying to nail down that tower. Accidentally takes the tower shot, just, a friendly hey and nothing too much more. Maokai just being able to throw those saplings, nothing too hurtful yet, but little mini treants, give you a little bit of scare from time to time. Mundo just chucking around that briefcase and going where he pleases, picking up gem right away, nothing too crazy on each side. Darkseal being picked up by Brand here, maybe looking for a couple of early games, really get some nice stacks on there to run around. And let's see here, first Dragon's already popped up, we got the void lanes, we got objectives on the map. We'll see how long it takes them to really start pulling that trigger again.
Bot lane is slowly going more and more in favor of Butters here on that Star Guardian Jinx. It's going to be really problematic for this Kai'Sa. She basically has to wait until that level 6 at this point where you get that really big shield, which gives you a lot of, prio in a fight, as Kabutops is going to be able to... that brand passive works so well to take out all 3 of these drugs. Zeta's up here, though, so Kabutops might be in some trouble.
Yeah, unfortunately blowing it all on Ed and Eddie, but Rumble being on the backside there does overheat a little bit, is going to pick up that final one here, the Void Grub going down. But I believe, and maybe the chat's going to correct me, but I think it's Hero and Kiro for Jinx's guns here this time. I know last time we talked about it, we didn't quite know their names, but I think in the Star Guardian form, that's what they are.
Zeta's still roaming up. He's going to flash forward.
Gonna find the brand, slowing it down. Mundo walking across the tower, does end up getting killed here from the Mundo. They're looking towards that Tom Kench, does drag him over, does not pick the tower aggro, but the tongue of the demon does end up picking up the kill, and that was Ghost being burnt as well.
Colin says, hey Shaktis, you can see my jungler stepping too far forward and you can cleave him to death. Guess what? You give me a cleaver, let me give you that. Sticks that tongue out there, grabs up the Rumble, spits him under the tower, and then spits out that tongue one more time to clear out the little Rumble that could. And then turns out Rumble actually couldn't, as here comes AliXL though, stepping forward with that Yasuo, throws on the wind wall, but Brother Otter just backs off, and this Yasuo's playing very aggressively. But either way, 1-for-1 trade topside, and I don't really know who comes out on top of that, because both top laners did end up picking up a kill for themselves.
Yeah, just more wet noodle fight back and forth there. And now every time Kench does that, I'm gonna need that sound effect again. So
I got
sorry, but not sorry if you're gonna be doing that here. And it looks like Dragon will be started up here. Like you mentioned before, that Yasuo being super aggressive, being able to dash through and just win wall every couple of seconds and really grab that lead. Now extended 65-47, a little over 15. That little sapling going over, maybe trying to grab something. Unfortunately, not quite able to, not as powerful as that Smite. First Dragon going down here. Drops down, no objectives on the map. We'll see where they point next here, or if they're content farming it out towards that next fight.
This mid lane is not going well at all for Mint. AliXO is up 20 CS over Brother Otter. This Yasuo pick into the Ahri is working wonders, as you can see, about a 400 gold lead already. And once this plate goes down, it's going to chunk up even higher. That's going to get the gold up to around 3,000, 2,900. And so that's going to mean about 500-600 gold lead for the Yasuo based off of farm in that one plate alone. So Ali's going to be up pretty far ahead in this as we start transitioning away from the early laning phase and start getting in towards looking at that mid game. Bot side has been going pretty well for Butters as well. They've got the push quite a few times. They've had all the prio in the world down there, and they've taken a plate as well. So Gold lead is about, there's really no gold lead at all either way around. Dragon and 2 grubs over 2 mint though, so they have a bit of an advantage here at the moment, but it's anyone's game at this point still.
Yeah, still up for grabs here. Finishing those boosts and that cloak as well for Yasuo. Just going to be zapping around even more mobile, just being able to dash through all of these charms and orbs being laid down here for him. So a little bit of movement speed burst here from Ari, just trying to clear out the waves here, and now too with that mana coming back from that last chapter, going to be able maybe to spam that Q a little bit more and try to keep that wave right in towards that mid lane. Jinx being able to fire down a little bit, ult being called down by Braum. Exhaust going towards the tree, getting stunned up here. Ooh, aggressive Jinx flash.
Oh,
the rocket does go down and ends up nailing the tree to the tower there. Great pickup for that kill.
Butters says, spicy tuna fish. Let me slap that on some bread and make a sandwich out of it for the second time. Gets a second kill in the 2v2 isolated bot side. They're going to push forward and take some plates down there as well. The second round of Void Grips has spawned. Ali's flashing in. Here we go.
Does find the brand. Does ult to knock him up there. Rumble also on the backside. Fortunately, there's not going to be a lot of stoppage here. Instead of taking up the kill there, Rumble picking up one here, is wearing that double buff as well, and it looks like the next 3 Void Grubs will be going down as well.
Spicy tuna fish after that death says, hey, you know what? That wasn't a death. That was just a fast recall. Heads right back towards the top side to make sure that that fight there around the grubs is a 3v4. They pick up the kill onto Kabu. Tops is now 0-2, which is a stark difference from how it was going in game 1. And sure, there's about a 500-600 gold lead for Mint, but now that's 4 grubs back over to final boss. A kill onto Zeta, and that Rumble is going to be feeling a lot more comfortable to get to the mid-game ult. Oh boy.
Yeah, Kaisa being super low here. Jinx ulti already used, still on that cooldown here, but all it takes is one good shot. No flash being flown, no ghost as well, so there's nothing really there, but it looks like Tahm Kench going to be able to pop in and out there back to safety. Rumble towards that top side. Not going to find a lot unless he goes towards that Raptor camp. Ari, though, pushed up just a little bit. We'll see if he ends up doing anything there.
Ari has closed that CS lead by about 5, so it's a little bit closer. But for now, it's just kind of clearing the waves out. AliXO.
Yeah, popping that ult here. Just trying to deal a bit more damage down. Just knowing there's not enough for the kill, but if I can keep chunking and chunking and chunking, I'm going to get that pressure. And it looks like Brand trying to run into his jungle. Unfortunately, Rumble there to take up a little bit of space. Brand ult does trigger, but not enough to really make a giant impact. That is still pretty healthy here, wearing that red buff. Gonna get recovered here. And that Yasuo, especially with those boots and all the attack speed that he's wearing, as soon as Ari goes back, those plates are going to fall very, very quickly.
Ali is just really running this mid lane. If there's a win con here for final boss, it is through this Yasuo, it seems at this point. There will be no 0 and 10 power spike as of yet, because we're 12 minutes in and this Yasuo has yet to die. So no 0 and 10 power spike for AliXO, but maybe that means we're getting the solo queue Yasuo that's on the enemy team. We're getting the good Yasuo.
There's still time. There's still time to 0 and 10. Brand going towards that backside there. Might be able to land the wombo combo.
Oh,
Windwall going down, unfortunately a little bit off to the side. Spirit Rush being used, but not able to find any lockup, unfortunately, for that Yasuo.
But that means AliXO has to recall, does have to teleport, but that's going to mean Baron or Dragon Prio rather. Going to go over to Kabutops for drag number 2. AliXO is teleporting in, but bot lane has been shoved by Butters and Hacks, and Zeta isn't really anywhere around. Is trying to run over there, but it's just too late. Second Dragon, that Hextech Drake, going to go over to Kabutops on the Brand. And the mountains will rise. We've got a second Mountain Soul here for game 2.
Once again, you know, every good performance demands a repeat, and that will be happening here. Jinx, a little bit of 20 CS lead here, going to be knocking down a little bit more of that tower pressure here. This bot lane has been doing a great job of continually keeping that pressure, hopefully counterparting that mid as that Yasuo just continually runs rampant there. And fortunately, a little bit unchecked as well. Brand, I know, doesn't want to step too far forward, because if he catches that wind tornado here, it could spell disaster. And that tower just about ready to go down here at any moment as soon as Ari ends up deciding to back.
Yeah, Yasuo is probably just going to hang around, but we'll have to see if maybe Butters and Hacks down there can try to do their part to maybe threaten to take the first brick themselves if they get a good team fight win down there against Kaisa and that 3. But Zeta, meanwhile, is going to be taking that Rift Herald. Brand is slowly meandering over towards that direction as well, but might just kind of get distracted with some KFC. Looks like that will be the call, so Spicy Tuna's jumping in there as well. Kaisa's gonna be left in isolation down there. Here comes Mundo just to make sure it goes down. Brand gonna rotate over to red buff. So Rift Herald here for the Rumble.
Yep, looks like they might be looking towards mid here, but there's so much of a push and backup to that Yasuo that I don't think Brand's gonna have the time that he wants here to do anything about it here. Red buff looks like Rumble is checking over there just to see what happens. Jinx using the blast plant and now giving Kaisa a little bit more free farm towards that side. We'll see because of this grouping if they're going to be ended up switching. Yep, Ari going towards that bot side, and we're going to see if Jinx is able to hang in that lane. Ari having to use Spirit Rush. Kaisa on the ult towards the backside here, just needs one more shot. Does end up getting it here, taking down the Ari.
Ooh.
Grand passive being thrown off, but I think Kaisa's gonna be just fine. Really burning down there. Maokai still has to get away. That spicy tuna fish not too hot for Brand yet. Can still pop a little bit off here. Does have to blow the flash, and Kaisa sticking around, burning down. Oh wow.
They're both
Braum.
so low. Here comes Braum.
Trying to figure out what he can do with the door. Great flash and
no.
the advance by the Maokai avoiding the door altogether. I thought one of them was going to be falling there pretty quickly. It looks like Jinx on the opposite side of that end of that trade going down and tower, but wow, what a play there from the Maokai Kaisa to get away from that door.
Yeah, Maokai and Kaisa both get away. Somehow it was a really nice twisted advance there from Spicy Tuna Fish to just dodge that concussive, I forget the Q is called, dodges the Q. And whatever it's called, in goes Tom Kench.
A little hay inside and out, that wet noodle fight going towards that top side here. And for the steal, he is knocking up 73 already for that. We'll see in team fights, both of them going towards that Heart of Steel, and I can't wait to hear more bonks later in the game. Just seeing someone at that 7 to 8,000 towards that late game present just looks like a monster.
We're going to be two tanky boys there in the top lanes. We're cresting closer and closer to that 20-minute point, which will be in about 3 minutes when the big old purple worm will be spawning. Mid lane Prio over to final boss, but bot side Prio as Yasuo is ulting bot side. Big Brother's going to be able to get away from that, though. Doesn't even have to burn the ult, so we take that one.
Yeah, just keep on pushing and pushing and kind of taking Ari out of the equation. We saw in game 1 a lot of charms being placed, just influencing all those team fights, but now just really moving that over. We'll see if Mundo has that same effect at one point or another. This could be a nice 1-3-1 in the making here as well. You know, you have the Kaisa, you have the Maokai and Rumble that can really do some damage as that 3-point and spreading that team across here. We saw the last time they kept on fighting as 5 and 5 and 5, so we'll see how they react here if they do end up splitting the team up.
Brother Otter's in a bit of trouble here.
Yeah, has to ult Spirit Rush out of their Brand, ult making his chance to see if he can make something happen here. It looks like they're just going to clear the wave and hopefully Ari back. The Equalizer running down, unfortunately on top of her, does pick up that kill, and 2 more members. Here comes the tree, just trying to run up that Brand. Will unfortunately not find him, just 1 run short. It looked like from grabbing that TT coming in as well as the Dragon does come down.
Yep, this is most likely, unless we see a nice little ult steal from Butters, are they going to look for it to throw down that ultimate? I don't think Butters will make an attempt. Going to re-roaming towards the top side to try to put some pressure onto the Mundo up there as K. Colin might just be going for the solo kill. Going to spit him out right there. Here's Jinx.
Yeah, Jinx towards that backside, does stay in the traps, but the Mundo healing and the movement speeder. Unfortunately, is going to run into a Braum. And it looks like Brand will be picking up the kill there. Great job by him. That Leandri's really going to be taking down all of that tank that they have. Kaisa being a next point of contention here. Braum
Oh, it did
does
land.
land a Q here. Exhaust also being burnt down, trying to get out of there, moving that movement speed. Ghost being burnt, trying to get out there. Does hit blast plant over. Jinx Rocket unfortunately missing. Wind wall being popped up. Tom Kench looking to pop up. Does pop up towards the backside there. Looks like Kaisa's trying to get away here. Unfortunately, does not hit.
Kill for Jinx.
Yes.
There it goes. Here goes the Jinx.
2 down. Getting excited there. Looks like Yasuo's the next point. Does knock up grenade all being placed in there. Does end up picking up a couple of kills there. 2 kills. We'll see if that third did come up. Nope. Kaisa snaked that other one, but a great combo there by Yasuo, just knocking up 3, giving a little bit of time for that Mundo to come in, and Kaisa still sticking on that outside, even though she was pushed all the way from mid lane towards that bot lane, and really sticking around here.
It was a really close attempt by Butters. Just needed to get 1 or 2 more crits, but just like in game 1, the Jinx doesn't have that Infinity Edge yet, and yet even in this game isn't going to be going for a second item Infinity Edge. Wants a bit more attack speed to be thumping out those attacks a bit more aggressively. Tom Kent jumps in. Ari just dies straight up there, was looking for some charms and stuff and didn't land any of it, but Jinx starts popping off in the fight, and then Yasuo turns it around with an absolutely massive Q. It lands onto all 3, throws down the big Hasaki, and then the big Asagyo, and they get the turn back around. 2 kills to AliXO. Henry Rocks, I believe, took the 3rd one away to prevent the triple kill, and now Brother Otter's in trouble yet again. Might have to ult away. Nope, he'll be able to walk away just fine. Henry Rocks is in trouble, actually.
Yeah, Jinx being able to find that area with that Zap Cannon, just being able to put her out. Ari with Spirit Dash, and great job with that Orb too, just picking up that kill.
Here's
on the
Brand.
On the other side, trying to toss up that Mundo, tries to dodge a little bit of stuff, but unfortunately it's not going to go anywhere. With the Braum as well knocking him up. That could be towards the Baron, but unfortunately it's going to be taken. Yasuo being able to really knock that down, plus Leandri's on Rumble. Great job of picking up the objective on the other side and not allowing that to go over.
And we haven't been talking about it, but take a look at the top of your screen there on that gold gap. It's now a 5,000 gold lead over to final boss. They're going to be able to take this tower rather with the bounty that came with it, but it's not that big of a bounty, and it's still about a 4,500 gold lead over there for final boss. That Scuttle is going to be taken away as well, which is a nice little bit of extra gold and experience to Kabutops.
Yeah,
but
still looking for the fights here. He is just not backing down at all from any challenges here. He is looking that Mundo mentality of I will go where I please.
And if you saw there on the gold difference there, the Yasuo is up about 3 grand over Brother Otter's Ari. So the mid gap is definitely being felt here in game 2. Sure, Brother Otter had that Karma, which kind of neutralizes any sort of mid game fighting, but here on this Ari versus Yasuo, which is very much a skill matchup, AliXO has been playing it very aggressively and has been stomping the 1v1 mid lane.
Yeah, with nothing to put him really in check and to really kind of put that pressure back on that neck that he's been, you know, strapping on here. It just looks like he's going to be free pushing towards that side, a nice 4v1, and we saw great playmaking towards that team fight there. And you know, we were looking at that Malphite, something to really use that pop-up, but he's like, don't worry team, I got this in the bag, I'll create the space and the opportunity. There's no need to panic.
Now, if I'm Mint here, I want to sit back and just chill for a little bit. Jinx has that BF sword towards Infinity Edge. You don't need to contest this Mountain Dragon here. If you just chill out, give the Jinx some farm, maybe you can contest that 5th dragon. When each team has 2 apiece, you can look to contest that Baron in 4 minutes, and maybe Jinx, you can get that Infinity Edge, and that fight will look a lot better, because instead of 1 crit item that they had in that previous one, now Jinx will be up to 3. And that fight could go completely differently, especially if Jinx can have the kiting, if they can set up for the fight correctly, and give Jinx an early pop-up with that passive to get her excited. That fight can be just completely turned around by Butter's Jinx there. So that's what I look from them. For the flip side, though, final boss, yep, they're doing the right thing here. They're just going to clear out, push mid lane, and rotate straight over to this second Mountain Dragon. They're going to pick it up without too much being said about it. They're going to try to maybe squeeze in there, but there's the Maokai ultimate just to make sure no one can get in there. Second Dragon going over, secured by AliXO. Who else? And they're shoving out the mid lane. They're going to rotate up to get out of dodge safely and maybe try to catch this Mundo, who does have the ult in the Ghost, but here we go.
Unfortunately, the other team's not able there to help him out. Does blow the Ghost as well. Doesn't need to hit the blast plant and just walks around. Nice little dipsy doodle going back and forth. But just to also recall about what you said, that Jinx rocket, just 3 crit item and a couple of crit rockets could really make the difference between, you know, those team fights. Plus the Hurricane being able to hit multiple people with those really just seal the deal there for them here. Yasuo as well, having the IE, the crit as well. Looks he might be picking up here. Blade of the Rune King for that next item, just a little bit more health and security for him, plus those attack speed and top side. Another tower going down. Baron here looks like, is that, if I'm looking, worn off already from the team? Yep, no one is sporting that purple anymore here. Dragon still 4 minutes, Baron being 2 minutes here. Nothing too crazy, maybe just a little bit more farming here. Jinx unfortunately not quite having that IE, but should be kind of knocking on the door here.
They should be doing whatever they can to get Jinx as much gold as possible. Maybe even tell that Tom Kench there in the top side, gold doesn't mean nearly as much for you as it does for the Jinx. Clear that mid wave and send her top to try to clear that wave out at 2, just to make sure that Jinx can get that Infinity Edge. As we see there, she does have about 1,500 gold in inventory, so maybe she will have it in time after she catches this next wave or 2. But for now, she's just going to be content to keep farming out waves. And we'll have to see. Yeah, 1,600 gold there in inventory. I don't think that's quite enough for an Infinity Edge.
I think 2,200 is the amount, if I'm not mistaken, somewhere around that
Sounds
area.
about right.
Yeah, just a little bit more needed, unfortunately. But right now, there's no pressure being really taped to them. They're not grouping. They're still content on just stalling this one out, and that Jinx is going to be getting bigger and bigger with that scaling. So we'll see if they end up picking someone up. Kaisa, great job looking for that romp.
The ult? Oh!
Not able to hang anyone else. Kaisa does go down here. Jinx rocket towards the backside, picking up a kill. Getting super excited, looking for that Dr. Mundo here. Does pop the ult, just trying to get out there. Spirit Rush by Ari. Looks like a little bit of fight and skirmish back and forth between them. And backing here as well. Jinx should have enough now with that kill being picked up here for that, but they are going to be running towards that mid lane here, picking up another objective bonus with that tower.
It's a good look here to look for that push there, because Yasuo's on the side. They do see Yasuo roaming over, so they know Yasuo is on the way. They're going to try to see if they can catch out AliExo, but not going to happen, I don't think. They don't know where the Yasuo is. They're just going to say, you know what, we're going to dip out of here. Zeta is probably back. Shaktus they see in the mid lane as well. Baron is respawning here as well. So maybe because they were able to stall it off so long, final boss have a chance to look and try to rush the Baron down here if they're really focused and smart about it. And they might be running up there to go for it right now to see if they can get a sneak away and steal the way of the Baron on a back timer, but at this point it's too late.
Yeah, Yasuo can take it pretty quickly. They do see Brand in towards that mid lane. Dr. Mundo here trying to get out of there.
Distracting again.
Tongue being lashed out there. Mundo falling very quickly here, not having that ult. Baron on the other side just being taken super quick. That rocket hitting that windwall. Spirit Rush as well, trying to find something here. Looks like they will end up going for a fight. Ari being the first one to fall here. Equalizer going down towards that backline. Rob soaking up all the damage, unfortunately soaking up a little too much here. Brand towards that backside as well. Looks like Kaisa's trying to get down. That Jinx does get the shutdown, but unfortunately he's going to pay with for life there. Great double kill picking up by Brand. And also Baron going down. That is a 5 for 2. Not quite what you needed off of that Baron fight.
You know, you pick up the Baron, but your entire team dies. Shaktus died way too fast. Had popped the Ghost earlier, and I don't think had it quite available just yet. And so dies and allows the rest of the team to run over there in time. They elect to take the 4v5, but Jinx, 3 hits on the backline for so long. Did get exhausted up by Tuna Fish, but flashes out of that Yasuo Q, flashes away from the Rumble, as well as kind of a 1-for-2 flash special, and is allowed to just keep free hitting. Sure, Henry Box finally kills off that Jinx at the end of it, but trades the life board as well, so no Baron's going to be going over, and it was a huge nearly 7,000 gold lead over to final boss, but that's been closed down to less than 4,000 here as Mountain Dragon number 3 is spawning up, and the junglers are all running over. Tom Kench is in the top side clearing out, but has a teleport available to get down there as well. Spicy Tuna Fish needs to be careful here, though. You might be out of position.
Yeah, look, might be the next point here. Does get pinched up a little bit with the hit,
Around
but
vision.
those nice little green healing will heal him up there. I have lost the name for them at all. Dragon being picked up here, or not picked up, being started here. It looks like a very tight point here as well. Equalizer going down, picking up 2 to 3 members there on the upside. Yasuo picking up that trick as well. Knockup going down for that Rumble. Not being able to.
An eye on Jinx. There's the excited.
There he's getting it. Everyone towards that middle. Yasuo going down there. Mundo just about stunned up there, trying to run away. Does get the charm. Has the barrier, but unfortunately does not have 2 of them. Jinx still knocking away at the Mundo being so bruisery. That last Whisper going to be completed after this from that Jinx, and she's really going to start to shred after that, as she already is. But 2 members left here to defend the Maokai and the Kaisa. They have enough CC on the other side with that Braum and the Tahm Kench. If they truly want to look for something, they can. Brand still towards that backside as well, going to be picking up that blue buff, but I think this tower's all but done. Tahm Kench going in here for that tree. Jinx on the other side, just looking at the Kaisa, unfortunately. Taking the tower just a little too much, unfortunately, that CC as well. And that healing from Kaisa, not able to do anything. And picking up a double kill, that is not what you wanted to see here.
I don't know why they look to fight that. You can just kind of sit back and let the Jinx free hit. You have 2 tanks there to keep the Jinx safe. So just let the Jinx use that attack speed steroid she gets for that Q and, you know, hit the tower and knock it down. If they do try to push into you, then you can take the fight on your own terms without having to dive under tower and also try to dive into the middle of an approaching enemy wave. But no, they elect to take the fight early, and it just doesn't pan out for them. They do end up taking the tower anyways, and they've shrunk it down to less than a 3,000 gold difference. And this Jinx is going to be very strong once she gets that 4th crit item with that last Whisperer. But it's kind of like we were talking about in the pre-draft, that once Jinx starts getting to late game, you've got the protection of the Tahm Kench, you've got the passive and the protection from the Braum as well, the charm there from the Ahri and the slows, and just so much teamfight presence from the Brand that if this Jinx can ever get excited in a team fight, it can just so quickly be over, as there she's going to pick up the LDR for herself. So 4 item, 80% crit on the Jinx. She is officially very much online in this game.
Yeah, she's going to be shredding that front line. That Mundo no longer really poses that. I can tank quite a bit there with that shred here. Rumble doing a good job of just pushing off Ahri a little bit, keeping that tower safe. Objective-wise, we got a minute 40 left here on that Baron. I'm sure that'll be the fight that really tips the scales one way or another, but with that Jinx just being so well protected from the team, you know, it's really tough to get on her unless she really chooses to get caught out, or if they make an aggressive play like they did towards that bot side.
Now the base has been cracked open. You can see Final Boss's mid lane inhibitor tower has been broken. And so there is a good opportunity now. If Mint Gaming can get a good team fight here, that base has been cracked open. That's one less wave they have to sacrifice to towers. If they get a good team fight here, and the wave, especially the mid lane wave, is in a good position, they could potentially look to just straight up end the game, especially because this Baron is spawning in 1 minute. If Mint, or I guess really either of these teams, can pick up a Baron here and win a good fight, the game could straight up be over. So they need to be really careful. The death timers are going to get longer and longer as all the carries are 16 and above. AliExo stepping forward, but just going to clear the wave out for now. We'll have to see. Tahm Kench is splitting bot lane and does not have teleport just yet.
Yeah, he can cover a lot of distance here. Equalizer going down, getting towards that Jinx.
Kaisa
being ulted in there, does end up picking the kill as well. Braum trying to get in there, dies to Ahri. Spirit rushes out of there, and what a great engage there from that Equalizer and that Kaisa ult going in there. Tahm Kench not part of that fight. Stillbond did not have that TP like you mentioned here. Are they going to go for Baron? Are they going to start breaking the tower? It looks like Baron will be the call here. And Dragon also coming on the heels of that Baron. They could go back and forth right here, grab up that soul, and possibly end the game after.
Now here's the problem. The dragon is spawning in 40 seconds, so maybe they'll have time to recall and get back, but a lot of health bars are quite low for final boss. They need to reset right away and try to get down in there. Meanwhile, yeah, Kabutops isn't going to be up for another 10 seconds, and so they have more than enough time with those empowered recalls to go and clear out, fix up those health bars, spend their money, and get right back down in towards contesting and picking up that mountain, because they have 3 mountain dragons already. A quadruple mountain soul would be massive here for final boss.
Yeah, just trying to clear out that vision here. Kai'Sa's got to be careful as she's stepping into unwarranted territory here. Looks like TP being used here from the Mundo. This fight will be the final one if too many members end up going down on either side here. Kai'Sa trying to clear out that vision. Ari, last planning over here, trying to pick out Charm to someone, not being able to find. Yasuo just starting up that Dragon Wind Wall. Presence there. Dr. Middle, Equalizer launching down on 3. Yasuo trying to get in there towards that backside.
Jinx, watch the Jinx!
Well, Jinx getting excited towards that backside. Great positioning, trying to get out of there. Unfortunately, gonna get hooked up by everyone. Kai'Sa, great job of maneuvering around to everyone there. They're gonna be taking the Dragon. Kai'Sa pushing towards that mid lane now, and topside has a giant wave.
Yep, the death timers are all at 30 seconds or longer. I think they've got the Baron. They've got a Mountain Soul as well. I think this could just be the end of the game right here. This 20 seconds on Hax's Braum, but it's just a Braum, so I don't know if there's much you can do about it. 4 minions there and another wave coming in as well. I think this might be the end of game 2, and we might be going to a game 3 here. One tower is down, second tower being whacked away at with that briefcase, and yep, we are going to a game 3. Game 2 has been taken by final boss.
Great rubber match here, Presence. Great job with that team fight here. Equalizer going down. Kai'Sa being able to weave in and out as she is free to kind of smack around. Yasuo getting exhausted towards that fight as well, and that Tom Kench being that backline nuisance. Just great job back and forth with those fights.
Yeah, the Jinx had so much ability to just stay tanky and just keep fighting again and again and again, but the Rumble just lays down so much damage in the backline. In those last couple fights, it was that Equalizer splitting across and forcing the Jinx farther out of range, and it's stuck just basically hitting onto a Mundo, while the rest of the team for final boss is able to hit the people that matter. And by the time that the Jinx gets excited, the team fight is basically already lost. Kai'Sa comes flying in with that ultimate and clears out the Jinx, clears out the Ahri, and they march down mid lane and take game 2.
Yeah, I cannot wait for the third. We'll see what kind of stops they pull out. Maybe adjusting a little bit for those bans. That Rumble has been a great heavy presence in both sides for those team fights. So let's see what adjustments they make.
Don't go anywhere. We've got game 3 coming to you guys right after this. All right, everybody, welcome back for Game 3 between Mint and Final Boss. Game 1 was a banger, Game 2 was a banger, and now we get to find out who ultimately wins this series and this critical Game 3.
Yeah, I don't expect anything less than what we saw the past 2 games. Just great action, great team fights, and just, great positioning by everyone. The Rumble, I'm expecting not to see this game, but who knows? We were expecting Karma, the Malphite. There's so many options on the board. We'll see if Kai'Sa's getting taken away, Scissors being banned away, Gragas, Akali. Once again, the deja vu of these bans.
I wouldn't be surprised if we actually see a Yasuo ban because of just, we saw that mid lane struggled so much up against the Yasuo, so maybe that gets taken off the board. But so far, the same 3 bans for the entirety of the series, as this time we are going to see Maokai banned away. They picked it on blue side for themselves. They don't want to give it over to Mint, so Final Boss going to ban it away. And you are correct. It looks like the Rumble will be the final ban there because it took so much space away. And now here we go. There's a dilemma. Do they pick the Karma first here on blue side, or do they take that critical Jinx? Both are available here.
Yeah, the Jinx just being heavily contested, at least by the one side, and just the resets and the getting excited, as you point out so many times. Just Volibear having their run back without the equalizer now with the Rumble. I feel like there's a little bit more positioning opening up for the backside. Now it's being banned out, but that Bear game 1 was just so effective, being that nuisance on the side, being able to 2v1, really dive that back line, and just be a big beefy tank towards that. Zuri being picked up for Final Boss game here, and we'll see what they decide to pair that with. Braum still on the table, Karma still on the table. Lots of options here that they could pick.
Yeah, Mint has banned away the Zeri in Game 1 and in Game 2. Game 3, they pivot and ban the Rumble, and Zeri gets through, and they're going to pick it up and pair it with that Rakan. So we'll have to see what they want to respond back with. Do they take the Jinx for that scaling? No, it looks like they might go for the Shuriman Princess in Sivir, which is an interesting pickup here.
I'm expected the pizza. There's no other skin, according to me. If they pick anything other than pizza, unfortunately, I have to toss out their vote for the victory. But great utility coming out for that ult. Great wave clear, can really push that wave. And it looks like Vi being picked up as well. Great lockdown with that ult and kind of really clearing the path towards that backside. They definitely have that we are going to be in your face, run at you comp with that pick. It looks like Jax being picked up towards that other side, can go jungle, can go top side as well, but that late game scaling of Jax could be a problem.
Yeah, Vi is such a great pick into the Zeri because, Zeri is that kind of 1v9 hyper carry, and then Vi can ignore the CC from Rakan, can ignore the CC from the Jax, hit that R key onto the Zeri and say, it doesn't matter what your team does, you are getting locked down by this, and Volibear can jump right on top of you because, spoiler alert, he kind of ignores CC with that ultimate as well. So if they can get the Wombo combo onto the Zeri and just shut her down in the early beginnings of the team fight before the Zeri can really have the legendary Zeri moment, Sivir can run away with team fights here, especially if she can get a good spell shield off against the Jax or against the Rakan engage. But on the flip side, we see some more bans. Yone going to be taken away, Karma and Ahri going to be taken away. So the mid laner there for Mint is going to have to go onto a third champion. We'll want to see what they want to pick up there for the mid lane, or if they want to just blind pick their support, or what's going to happen here for Final Boss, because they could, do they show blind pick mid lane, or do they show if the Jax is going mid or jungle?
Yeah, with
or
that
top or jungle
being picked up, they could be doing that. Victor also being banned away, a great tool for that disengage in case they were looking at that, because that 5 Volibear Sivir are going to be going in. Talia, great pick as well, just slowing down the stones and being able to push and pull anyone that she wants towards that. So I'm guessing that'll be that mid pick. Jack's going
Can I
towards that jungle. Oh, by all
Can I
means.
talk about this pick here as well? They basically said we're not going to show our hand still because it could be a Talia mid and Jack's jungle or a Talia jungle and Jack's top. They still have the freedom in the draft, and so Mint doesn't know for sure what's going mid still. We're gonna lock in. Is it going to be the lock in? It's the Aurelian Soul gonna be picked up there. That's pretty exciting. A bunch of scaling though here for Mint. If this game does go really late, Mint will just stomp this one because they've got the princess in the bot lane, they've got the god in the top side, and they've got the star forger in the mid lane. So they have a ton of scaling here. Time to see what they want to pick up here for the support role. I would not be surprised to see some sort of enchanter, and it's going to be the Sona to go alongside the Sivir.
Yeah, lots of engage tools here. Really great follow-up, and just being able to crash down a giant meteor on top of your opponent's head, that constitutes as a W.
It really does. Now to see, time for final boss to show their hand. Is it Jack's top or is it the jungle? Is the Talia going up against the Aurelion? It looks like it's going to be the Jack's top, and the Talia will be probably staying mid with the Brand in the jungle. So, but it could, you really never know. It could be Brand mid and Talia jungle, but I'm expecting to be the Talia mid, and they've shown their hand. It was option C. Talia and the Jax were the solo laners, and they were hiding the jungle pick. So how do we feel about these drafts? These are some very interesting. They've pivoted every single game, draft to draft to draft, kind of showing different styles every single time.
Yeah, they're kind of pulling all the stops here, and final boss, especially with Talia being able to roam around, ride the wall, and really create that spacing gap for her team, as well as follow up on those side lanes if she is going mid, because we could still see something, crazy kind of going down. But I'm looking for those early plays, get Jax ahead, looking for something towards that bot side, get Zuri going, because as soon as we see Mint on the other side, Aurelion Soul, Vi, Sivir, I mean, they're just going to run you down, lock you down, and make sure you don't have a good day.
We'll have to see how they play it off. Will that late game Zeri that's finally been unleashed be able to carry them in game 3 to a reverse sweep in this best of 3, or will this Sivir and this Aurelion Soul be able to win the war of attrition and make it to the late game? Let's jump into game 3. We've got an exciting game here ahead of us, and I cannot wait to see how this one plays out.
Yeah, starting off, we'll see if anything crazy happens here. Level 1 looks like a nice 5-point start here. Nothing off the walls here.
30 seconds until you
See if we get another Mountain Drake as well. That's been 3 for 3 here. We'll see if it ends up going, or 2 for 2. End up going to get Brand. Nice little damage here being picked up. It looks like Brand will be going jungle. Jax towards the top side. How do you feel about this top matchup? This Volley and Jax?
Oh, it's complicated because it's still, at the end of the day, is a skill matchup. Jax can jump in. The Volibear though can use that that shield to just mitigate a lot of the engage, and then wins the trade out long because those passive auto attacks make him attack faster and faster, and with those bites can sustain through it. So Volibear does kind of win the longer fights. Jax wins the shorter trades, and so it's at the end of the day though, it is very much a skill matchup. What I'm really excited about though is this Sivir Sona in the bot lane. Not a bot side duo we see very often. As I hate to disappoint you all, it is not pizza delivery Sivir, but so that's a major L there for Butters.
Yeah, I can't endorse them at all. Right now it's going towards her in the bot lane. But the tier start also on the Volley. We see the Doran's Ring start usually, but just kind of going for a little bit more of that stacking presence here. We'll see level 1 if anything does happen. That Sivir Boomerang just catching out a little bit, kind of getting towards that. We'll see if that level 2, as it happened here in game 2, if they end up starting to push that, really gain the advance. There's no true lockdown like that Braum being able to happen unless Khan really decides to go in.
Butters and Hacks down there in the bot lane have had such good level 1s and level 2s. They got that solo kill at level 2, and here they are getting level 2 first, and they're stepping forward to try to do something, but it is not something as aggressive as they've had in the past. It's just a Sona for the support, so they're not going to step too aggressively forward with this level 2 advantage. They just look to push the wave, throw out some Qs, and get a little bit of a chunk down, but Hacks might have overstepped a little bit. It's going to walk back with that shield tail.
Yeah, taking a little bit back and forth, and there's that trade, that shield coming down, a little bit of extended trade. Jax being super early. Just imagine if he had a real weapon. I think that's a is he? What exactly is he throwing around there? Is that a bamboo stick?
I think it might be just a bamboo little staff there. But you know, Jax does get the shove there. I don't really know what maybe it's a. Is it what skin is that?
Is it a torch? Is it right? I think the entire game here, we're just going to be wondering what Jax has as a weapon. You know, he can use a fishing line, a lantern, a bamboo pole. There's nothing this man can't do to
see this
to really
this whole
cause...
time. This whole time we've been asking, what if he had a real weapon? We've been missing the real question: what even is a real weapon? So
he is the.
No, I don't know. Axe is in trouble though.
Sure.
There's first blood. Henry Rocks pops the ghost, and they just stepped too far forward to get to flash away because Butters was stepping really aggressive forward. Here's Kabutops looping around on that Vi. They don't know. Actually, they do know because they had that vision. They're going to try to dash away from this to see if Vi can do something about it. It's going to charge forward flash. It's going to land. Henry Rocks is dropped. Spicy Tuna Fish has to jump away there as well. So at the end of the day, it is a 1-for-1 trade, but Zeri picking up first blood. But at the same time, Butters does get to crash the wave. Topside though, Volibear's in trouble. Zeta did show up topside, and goodbye Volibear. Jax is gonna pick up the kill.
Wow, what action back and forth there. You make a play towards the bot, now the top. What I was gonna say before is I think Jax might be the John Wick. He can literally make anything a weapon, you know? He could take a pencil and add someone, a Rallying Soul, unfortunately, being on the wrong end of that shove there, of that rock slide.
Yeah, it's been a significantly more proactive early game compared to the games we've seen in the past. 3 kills already, and we're only 4 minutes in to this penultimate or tri-ultimate, maybe it would be, match between these two teams that have been very exciting to watch here. But yeah, first blood to the Zeri is not a good sign at all for Mint Gaming, because that Zeri just has so much gold to get through that poke and sustain that the Sona and Sivir can provide. Top lane going very well as well. Volibear will eventually become that kind of late game thumping powerhouse that we saw in game 1. But Jax having that kill is going to make it so much more difficult for Volibear to get there.
Yeah, Chemdray being the first one up here to fall. No contestant on the board going on mid lane, opting for that tier, a little bit more scaling as well. So a lot playing for that late game scenario, that Vision Ward having a nice easy time here with the 3. We'll see if they end up just taking 2 and leaving, or all 3. There's no pressure really going down to contest them, so I imagine take them as they please. Towards the top side, Jax having that kill, and also going a call as well, trying to stack that down a little bit more towards that late game scaling. You don't really see that too much for the top lane, but if it works out at the end, they don't ask how, they ask how many. So we just gotta put faith in the man, and we'll see the Zeri keep stacking and stacking and see if there's any more kills to be had. Yes, you traded it back to 5, but that first blood being that all-important one. Jax doing a great job of going in and out here, using that passive, getting that level 6, and then that power W really chunking down that volley before that trade can really happen.
Yeah, it's those short trades that we were talking about. Like, if Jax can continue to get those short trades off, Jax will just hard win in this top side. You can already see a 15 CS lead. Now, Colin is going to catch some of this back most likely, but the CS lead, oh, there's another one missed. The CS lead is just going to be very difficult as Zeta is up here again on Vision, though, so Colin knows about it.
Yeah, nothing gonna happen here, but a good job of wasting time. If Colin can keep looking kind of semi-aggressive and really waste that time of the brand, he's still pretty healthy. He does have the ult as well. You know, that's a good 20 seconds, 30 seconds of brand. Having to go up there, stick around, but not really getting anything for it. Meanwhile, Vi towards that bottom side might be looking to make another counter.
The ult. But Zeri's just going to be able to hop right out, and the ultimate from Kabutops does, can't come to the Zeri. He's only level 5, but can just jump right over the wall and say goodbye. Jax on the top side is going for another trade against Colin, but does get that shield off, and here's where Colin can start to slowly win back in the trade. I think, oh, there's the Aurelion Soul ult mid. Ali's gonna have to flash away Brother Otter was struggling quite a bit in game 2 as we were looking for the dive here. Box side, Kabutops has jumped in with that buy. The Zeri is thumbing away. Butters is throwing that shot, that Q out though, and is going to get the first kill. Hax is going to drop as well as Kabutops. So Henry Rocks has picked up a double kill in the dive. It's all gone wrong for Mince Gaming in the bot side on that dive. And that's a 3-2 Zeri, who is very big now in this fight. Here comes Brother Otter flying in, spitting out that cosmic vomit or whatever you want to call it, and picks up a solo kill onto AliXO. So much action all the way across the map here in game 3.
Yeah, it's just a bloodbath going back and forth there. They look like bot line, that they have the dive. Unfortunately, no level 6 for, I think, either side, either the Sona or the Sivir at that point. Unfortunately, that could have been really great utilization to optimize for that dive, but does not have it. Suri picking up that double kill now, 3-2-0, also having that bounty, completing the boots. Noon Quiver, she is going to start scaling it a little bit sooner. Yes, she's down in CS, but just having, you know, that stigma of, hey, I can grab those kills for getting the help in bot lane, you know, feeling good, kind of picking up those good kills here. Tyr also being towards the dragon as well, picking up the blasting wand, boost completed as well. 3 CS, nothing too major difference here in the mid lane here. Dragon, minute 26 up. We'll see if they end up taking that as well here as quick as they can, while this bot lane shoves and shoves with Suri, and Rakan can really keep pushing back that lane, but Sivir's no pushover. She can definitely push right back there. God, I'm still upset. There's no pizza. I think this should be a call for anyone that I go for, that I am commentating on. If you don't throw pizza Sivir out there, I can't throw my endorsement, unfortunately.
Maybe it's just an angle for it. You see, you know what? We're 9 minutes in. Is it too early to say remake? We got the wrong skin on our Sivir. Tell Butters to get over to the shop and drop that 1820 RP to pick up the pizza delivery Sivir skin, as Hax is in trouble. Did get locked up by the brand. Sun's gonna flash away for no reason because the brand passive was still going. Goodbye, Sona. You can play music in 5 seconds. Butters is gonna be chased off the wave because the brand stepped forward to zone her away. And with the dragon spawning here in 20 seconds, Colin has been able to get a bit of a push going topside despite being down 20 CS, and we'll start to get some more of these grubs. There's probably going to be a 6 grub stack over to Min, but this second dragon is spawning in 10 seconds. Zeta is down there, ready to catch it at a moment's notice. Aurelion Sol pushing out mid lane. Talia is teleporting in. Aurelion might be looking for a flank onto this dragon in the mid lane. Here we go. Flick is going to land. She's going to get stunned up. Here comes Zeta. The dragon is going to fly out, but the ultimate from Ali is going to come out there as well. Kabutops is looking to run over. Does have the ultimate. Comes putting some pressure on, but here comes the Jackson flash forward, and the stun is not going to land onto the dragon, so they're going to be able to walk away scot-free, and the final Void Grub will be picked up by the Jackson Talia, but it's too late. 5 have already been secured by Mint, so they will get that bonus little grubbling if they can get to the towers. On the flip side of the map, though, Dragon will go over to Zeta's brand.
Yeah, great job there. Creating the objective for objective. Sona unfortunately getting caught out on that trade-off, just pushing a little too far forward, and it looks like we won't have another Mountain Drake, unfortunately, for our soul piece, but instead the wind will be awakened there for the final one. That dragon just so mobile, being able to zip in and out there with a passive. Jackson, unfortunately, not being able to catch up, whipping that that bamboo stick around and around there. We'll see where the next fight ends up having. Brand a little deep in their jungle, just trying to say, hey, could have taken the red buff, but no vision really around the map there on that side. Yeah, he's taking a bite of crying back and forth there. A little bit of wet noodles, but looks like they're a little bit more damaging this time, per usual. Plague going over here for Otter as well. Looks like the team has calmed down just a little bit for the team fights, 4-5. So early action, a little laying off the gas, but as soon as we keep scaling and scaling here towards that later game, these team fights are going to mean a lot more.
Yeah, sure. Sari has 3 kills, but the Sivir has taken a couple plates and has a 15 CS lead, so that means that goal difference is not nearly as impactful. It's still about 500 or so, but Sari got first blood, so it should be a lot more, but the Sivir farm and those plates is just mitigating that goal difference quite a bit. Thank you for production for showing that there. Still being about a 15, 16 CS lead. Brand is running in. They'll pop the ultimate. The Aurelion Soul ult is going to land there as well. Zeta, the poison was still ticking. We're going to see Brand maybe drop there. No, he's going to barely stay alive. Here comes a teleport out from the Jack, so they're diving in really aggressively. Bot side, the Jack may have overstepped here. Here comes a teleport from the Bear as well. By ultimate is going to land. Jackson jump back. Here comes Colin, flashes forward. It's going to stun the Jack. Goodbye. The tower is shut down as well. The chase continues. The Zeri has been shut down by Kabutops, and it's just the Rakan left. They're going to step back. Butter's taking up 2 tower shots there. Means they might not be able to continue this play at all. Never mind. Vi's going back and he's going to miss, though. So maybe now, finally, they're going to say enough is enough, and they're going to reset. Brand is trying to put some damage onto Kabutops. Spicy Tuna is looking to maybe try to do something with the Brand, but they're going to think better of it and say, never mind. Butters is going to go ahead and crash the wave. Kabutops, be careful, though. Zeta is here, and Ali is looking around in that bush. Is going to jump back across the Dragon Pit into safety, and that's the end of the play, but a big team fight win there for Mint, and they're right back into this game. The goal deficit is basically nothing at this point.
Got 5, 4, 1, and 1 out at that point. Saber picking up some great assists as well as the Sonas. But yeah, that TP by Jax going towards that bot side. Volibear, great job also going down as well, and just great team fights being locked up there. And that Volibear just already so scary, diving in the tower, really throwing caution to the wind, as we say, and just a great team fight back and forth there. Looks like Rift will be spying here shortly. We'll see if they decide to send the supports. They do. Sona roaming up there, not quite seeing anyone in the bushes. They're trying to get this Dragon team fight.
Rakan hasn't picked up, but Hax is here, is spitting out. Kabutops watching how this Vi shows up in the top of the screen, but they're not going to push the play any further. Is final boss. Gonna let the play die. They had stepped forward too aggressively. Kabutops would have definitely cleared that one out. But they think, you know what, this play's dead. Butters bot side is gonna pick up first brick. So now it's up to about a 500 gold lead in favor of Mint, as this Sivir is up 20 CS in the bot lane and trying to feel really comfortable topside the scuttle, or the Rift Herald rather, is being attacked, but there's no real jungle presence around. So Shakti Zeta and Spicy Tuna thump. There we go. There goes the Rift Herald. The eye is picked up by Zeta. And a bit of Matt Prio is going to swing back in favor of Final Boss with that Herald in pocket.
Yeah, and just to call back before that fight happened, we did see Brand go in between the towers, and a great job by Aurelion Soul smashing down that Comet, locking him down. And because the burn was happening, yes, you dropped aggro, but you also picked it up again on that second tower. I thought that Brand was dead to rates on that one.
I don't know how Brand didn't die. Doesn't have flash either. It's a ghost Brand. Maybe had to pop the ghost in that. But here, we're going to see a dive onto Colin. Colin does have the ultimate, but doesn't even get a chance to pop it. Shaktis and Zeta combined for a good amount of CC, never letting that Volibear Hulk out with that true form. So goodbye, Volibear. You're now 0-2. Go back to Fountain and think about your actions. Zeta, though, on the flip side, has been caught out. There is the crescendo. Here comes the ultimate from the Vi as well. Butters flashing away from the Talia. It's going to get flicked back anyways. So a nice little flick back from Talia, but here comes the Sky's Descent. It's the big one from the Aurelion Soul, but it doesn't really result in anything. So it's kind of a wasted shot there, as they're going to try to get that Herald out of there. There's not going to be anything. AliXO is going to have to be really careful, though. That shield is going to get popped, flashed away from the Sivir. They're still looking for it. AliXO is really low, and the Dragon now is probably going to be secured up by Vi. It's already onto it. Brand has just came back into respawn. So the Dragon stacking there for Final Boss has been effectively nullified, as long as Zeri and Brand can't do something funky right here, but I doubt that's going to happen. Dragon going to go over here to Kabutops.
Yeah, Dragon, good job swinging that back towards our favorite, not having that pressure now of that Soul lingering above your head at that 5-minute mark here. Brand going mid, think he's going to drop the Rift. Team's going to come over, they're going to pick up that mid turret and kind of really make a push for it, but unfortunately, everyone in the bush, and here comes another fight.
Oh, a nice flash to Rakan. He's going to pop the ultimate, though. The flick is going to land. Spicy Tuna Flush is getting really low, but is not going to drop. Henry Rocks also got pretty low. Won't drop it, so Spicy Tuna got awfully close to accidentally swinging in and taking a tower shot. Brushes his hair back and says, light work. I'm not worried about it. They picked up the kill onto the Dragon, and they're going to be able to push out bot wave and maybe even get that tower as Butters is clearing out mid. Zeta's going to respawn and pick up that wave, though.
Yeah, Great job doing that dive, kind of trading the aggro back and forth. And I'm no regular tuna fish. I am a spicy tuna fish. You know, gotta live life right on the edge there. Zuri picking up her first item here as well, grabbing the BF sword. We'll see what that ends up turning into. I'm guessing the IE as well. Noon quiver on the other side for Sivir static being picked up. Just a little bit of back and forth here. Next objective up 2 minutes, Baron. I don't see either of these teams really driving that right away as the point of contention, as we don't see a lot of Shred. Brand picking up the Leandri's Torment, being able to really chunk down any tank towards that other side. Jax as well, that scaling hits the Triforce. Call is done, I believe, and the Bramble Vest just to reduce a little bit of healing there from that Volley Barrier on those extended trades.
Nothing too much happening at the moment. There's not a lot of things to go for in the Dragons. I speak that, never mind. Vibes come through. The Aurelion Soul ultimate is going to land. Sure, you do have that shield there on your item, Talia, but it doesn't matter when you're isolated. On the flip side, though, Colin's in a bit of trouble. Flashes away from the brand, but uh-oh, it's a teleport in from, is that Brother Otter? Yes, it is. The Aurelion Soul here has shown up to save CA Colin up there, saving that bear, one god to another, and they say thank you very much for the protection. Goodbye. We're going to go and recall and spend gold. So Colin is going to step back. Butters has saved mid lane tower as well from Henry Rocks. And the game continues.
Yeah, so I wanted to take a little bit of poke getting out there, but the healing that she has, going back and forth, spamming those abilities, stacking up that tier as well. Archangel's not quite shield being up here for the mid lane, but they are just looking for something here. With that Vision Ward, no one quite knows what's going on. 5, 1, and 2. They really need to either start looking for her and shutting her down, otherwise she's gonna be running rampant. All being popped out here.
Recon ult, and that Recon ult is going to be good to kill off the Sona. Once again, no music for you. Go back and sit in gray screen for the 4th time. You don't get to sing any music. You play the crescendo, but it doesn't result in anything. Sivir going to pop the ultimate there as well to try to save the Sona, but it is in vain. No flash on the Sona means you just kind of gonna have to hop out of there and take the death. Spicy Tuna Fish had a very nice engage there, though, so well played. They're going to be able to maybe use that potentially, because Sivir has no mana, to finally crack open that mid lane.
Yeah, the tower is about one freeze away from falling down here. Just great wave clear coming out now from the dragon, being able to just throw down the void and just watching all the minions get gobbled up into that here. 006 for the support with the bell being rung every time. They are going in. Jax top side here will be taking that tower. There are 2 up, but I don't think he's going to do anything about it as well. Baron still up. No one really pressuring. Yes, some vision wards going down there, but nothing too crazy here. Dragon up less than a minute. Lots of vision being placed down there. Brand doing a good job clearing that out. Going to be getting Scuttle here to make sure they have that permanent vision at least on there if something does end up happening. Vi charging up, looking for a play here.
The ultimate. Here we go. Sivir gonna throw out that Chakma. Henry Rocks is gonna dash over the wall. Spicy Tuna Fish is there to protect for the moment. Brother Otter gonna throw out that Galaxy and those stones. Kabutops has dashed forward with the flash, but Zeta is gonna sidestep it with that blast cone. And now here comes the chase back into return onto blue. Brother Otter and Butters is kind of isolated by themselves. Throws out that Q. The fight is still gonna continue. They're both posturing. Zeri has the recall, but it's coming back into the fight. So this is your opportunity, Mitch. You need to take the fight right now. Zeri's about to show back up.
Yeah, just dancing back and forth here. No one really pulling the trigger quite yet. And the dragon's spawning right now, so there's no need to start anything unless it needs to happen. You're con towards the backside. They're really spacing out here. If they end up pinching point one area here, that could spell for disaster, but a good job of regrouping. Dragon starting now and a fight on the verge.
Here we go. The dragon has been chunked down to 5,000, 4,000, 3,002. Let's see if they can get into it. No, it will not be stolen away by Kabutops. There comes the ultimate Aurelion Soul. Aurelion Soul is spitting so much damage down there. A gun. There goes one. There goes two. Double kill for the Aurelion Soul. Spicy Tuna Fish has gotten really low. Kabutops still barely alive. Is going to drop their Brother Otter. Has taken the 3rd one in here. They go for the chase onto Henry Rocks. Zeri is the only one left. Butters is running away. Hack's going to flash away from that last one. Quadra kill To Brother Otter onto the Aurelion Soul. Is this APA in the mid lane for Mint Gaming? A massive play there for Brother Otter on the Dragon. What a team fight for Aurelion Soul.
I believe you went to the Korean boot camp there and learned that one. Just a great job of being patient, laying them all grouped together, crashing down that meteor, and just obliterating 3 instantly in that fight. Yes, Suri hung out as much as she could, kind of zapping around, but unfortunately at the end, a 5 was, I believe, a 5 for 0. Was that? Did they have a person volley?
It was a 5 for 2. They got volley and the Vi.
Okay, so they just respawned, but what a fight going on there, and I'm sure now with all those big buys here, the catalyst going down from mid 7-1 and 1 as well. That Aurelion Soul is going to be shredding anything in front, really slowing it down, and that Nether Gaze is going to, or not Nether Gaze, that black hole is going to be tough to get away at this point.
Yeah, the Aurelion Soul is just turbo scaled at this point. It has the Leandries, has the Rylai's, and is scaling towards that third item, which will be the Seraph. Whatever the Aurelion feels like completing that is coming in as well, throwing down Nether Galaxy just to slow up Henry Rockstream. Mind the Zeri. Hey, there's a big dragon in this game. You better be careful about stepping up.
Yeah, just picking up that vision as well here. Going to clear that. Looks like Baron will be the next point of contention. TP up before the volley and ult going down for Vi.
Brother Otter has come flying in, but the Rakan ultimate is really big. Zeri gonna hit that R key and blow up the Aurelion Soul before the big ultimate can't come flying down. Here comes Colin, though, flashing and gonna kill up the Zeri in return, and Butters is still alive. Free firing in the backline, has that ultimate pump, gonna throw that Q over the wall to check on the Jax, and the Rakan is gonna sneak out with only a few hundred health left. The fight looked so bad from the beginning because Aurelion Soul got caught out with the big ultimate still in the inventory, but Butters staying alive with that ghost and the ultimate. The speed from that. Here comes Talia, though. Jackson's looking to potentially go for an angle, but no, is going to elect to not jump in with that stun, and they're going to back off. They keep the tower alive at the moment, but it's another one team fight over for Mint, 3 for 2.
Yeah, just unfortunately losing the Aurelion Soul right away really damaged them, but a great job by Sivir just staying in the back line, being able to pick apart piece by piece, and that volley bear TP happening first, and that Jax just having to wait just a few seconds later, unfortunately made that the tide turn back into their favor. So just a little bit of positioning, you have to be careful. I feel like it was super aggressive going in there while you're kind of clearing everything out. But at the end of the day, it worked out for him, so can't really say too much for it.
I want to take a peek really quick. Look at the bottom of your screen, that CS difference between the Volibear and the Jax. Jax is up 72 CS over the Volibear. That is a 2,500 gold lead for young Jack Smith with whatever item or weapon he's using there. We really don't know. Is it a Tiki Torch? Is it a weapon at all? He doesn't seem to think it is, but he's got some nasty farm going for himself. Double item completed, and even if he doesn't have a real weapon, he's still going to be hitting as if he is wielding one.
Yeah, just the hybrid damage that comes with that. You know, once you get that third item into him, it really becomes which two are you going to send to tackle me, because you cannot do that 1v1 no matter how much you have here. We're going to see this Volibear just getting shred with the passive here of that ult, especially when you want to pop that ult too and just become that nuisance tank that really gets in there and wombo combos everything. So 2 Leandries coming out from that side here with the Brand and Talia just looking to shred down anyone that comes in front of them. Baron being cleared out for the vision. Scuttle being taken down there as well for sure. Kind of pinging out all of that. Dragon popping up here in 30 seconds. I'm sure they will be looking here. Brand sitting in that bush, just maybe looking to get a little bit of a poke down, but doesn't really want to reveal. Vi's going to be finding him first. Great stun, triggering the passive, charging up that Vault Breaker. Unfortunately, it's not going to go anywhere with it.
Yeah, this is really a big dragon here for Zeta to pick up, because that would give them Cloud Soul. Brother Otter does have the big one in inventory. They're going to throw over that. Here comes the ultimate, though. The big one is popped. It lands on the 2. Goodbye, Zeta. No jungler available. Spike just pops the ultimate, and the flick back from Alex does land onto Kabutops, but there's so much healing now from the Sona. The Brand has been dropped. There's no jungler available to contest this. Alex is trying to step into maybe say that, hey, we can do something about this. But no, they're going to jump up onto Jax. Goodbye, Jax. Now they're trying to stump away onto the Zeri, who's gotten really low. Butters is looking for that last auto attack. Has popped the ultimate to try to get into there, but it is not going to be quite enough movement speed. They pick up the Jax, and now here they're going to finally turn around and take this dragon for themselves to prevent final boss from taking Soul Point. Team fight win, they get 2 kills and they secure a dragon for themselves. It's dragon number 2 for Mint Gaming, and they're pinging onto the Baron there as well, saying, hey, this might be a Baron fight coming right after that dragon one.
Yeah, there's no TP for either Volibear or Jax at that point, unfortunately, so they have to rotate over. Jax, unfortunately, finding him on the wrong end of the team that's being rotated as well, and really relieving that pressure for that dragon. And the team fight's right on the verge again, trying to get that Railing Soul, not quite having that ult, but is coming up soon, about 20 seconds worth, and we should see ults across the board.
Turn on for this.
On that, yeah, 6,000 health. Streaming down to 5, 4,000.
Not down to 3,000, 2,000. Who's going to take away Bonnie? He's going to steal it away, but it's a massive 2-man flick that's going to kill the Aurelion Soul and the Volibear. 3 have gone down. Butters is trying to free-fire the backline, but it's not going to mean anything. Butters did get a kill, but shut down by the Zeri. They clean up all 5 of them and only lose the Rakan. And it's just like game 2. They pick up a Baron, but it's an ace right afterwards, and the Baron means absolutely nothing. And it was lucky for Kabutops that he got the steal, because if final boss had the dragon or had the Baron here, they might have the tempo to be able to march right in and end the game at this point. So they're going to be able to at least take 1 tower here, probably march in and get an inhibitor for themselves as well if they want to, but it looks like they are going to rotate bot side instead, clear out that red buff, and say we take those wins, and they're going to take themselves up to a 3,000 gold lead. So the team fight went terribly wrong. Brother Otter yet again not being able to use that ultimate.
Yeah, Jax now just about up 100 CS on his lane, just 10 from that as well. Just great gold lead, becoming even worse and worse and worse. And then that team fight, unfortunately, ult's not quite up being used. Great smite seal there by 5. Unfortunately, the team just a little too grouped together. And Zuri, Brand, and everyone just had a great wombo combo going in there, and no one survived.
Yeah, no one survived. It was very fortunate that Kabutops stole that one away. So a clutch smite there from the Vi, and now game state really just kind of goes back to how it was before the Baron went down. Aurelion Soul's going to keep stacking up. Sivir has hit level 16, has 3 crit items, and Zeri is going to start building towards that 4th item, which will probably be the Infinity Edge as well. Nope, she has the Navori Quick Blade, so no Infinity Edge will be in inventory for Zeri. But Sivir has completed and is looking towards a BF Sword, which will be really big, because the dual sustain of a Sivir with BF Sword and a Sona, if you can't get onto this Sivir here early on in the fight and she's allowed to free hit, you're never killing her as the fight progresses.
Yeah, well, a lot of these fights going on by Otters, when you see that Vi going in there and charging up that Vault Breaker, really passing out that one person with that Aurelion Soul, that's when these fights are towards their side, and they're doing a great job of picking off, chasing down the team with that Sivir ult, and really kind of getting on. But on the flip side here, once they have a little bit of time to kind of get back together, Soda getting caught out here.
Yeah, the flick doesn't land. She pops the crescendo to kind of get out of there in time. Isn't going to have to pop a flash or a heal for the extra movement speed. So ultimate burned there from the Talia, in return for ultimate from the Sona.
Yeah, a little bit of back and forth, but that's what we like. That's what they wanted here, is a little bit of a pick out. Jack's going towards that top side again. We'll see if they end up sending more people there. Do you just send Jack to consistently split, drag everyone bottom, and then really cause that problem of a push-pull? Or are they going to continue to kind of all stay in that cohesive unit and stay together?
Yeah, Jax is a real problem here. Has picked up that Spear of Shojin there as well. So he has a real weapon now in the inventory category at least. And Volibear is really going to struggle in that matchup, because he's itemizing again towards just a lot of MR, because you're dealing with the Brand and a Talia. But I think a little bit more armor should be a bit more of a priority for Colin, because you're going to be split pushing against the Jax quite a bit and matching in that side lane. So I do think armor would have been better instead of that Spectre's Cowl. But what do I know? I'm just a caster. So Dragon, once again, it's Dragon Soul potential here for final boss. 30 seconds away.
Yeah, great job of clearing the vision. They're looking for another pick here. Just Sona to step up here. Suri doing a great job of just being patient in there, clearing the vision. 2 vision wards going down. Dragon up here in 20 seconds. They have Scuttle here. Going to reveal a little bit more just in case there's anything in the area. Looks like they're swinging over for that Jack, so sending a lot of utility over there for him. So it looks like they might be giving up this Dragon here.
In mid lane, here comes the teleport from the Volibear. Kabutops has gone forward, but it hasn't meant too much. The ultimate from the Talia as well. Teleport in from the Aurelion Soul, but here comes Kabutops. Jumps forward. It's going to burn the flash from the Talia. Jax is teleporting in as well, and here we go with the fight for this dragon. Nobody started up just yet. Both teams are hovering around Vi. Has been spotted on Vision. The big storm from the Volibear going to check that bush, but no one's going to be spotted yet to get the flick. Oh, it just goes just short as the fight continues. This is a pretty big storm, and here comes the Vi ultimate. A big Aurelion Soul ultimate lands with a 3-1 shutdown right away. That's a big ultimate though from the Rakan, but here comes Aurelion Soul is spinning. Jax picks up 1. Jax picks up 2 in the back line. Double kill. Henry Rocks is now just trying to be the kite back. Well, let's see how they can win the fight. Will Henry Rocks win it out? That's a Jackson pick up another one. No, Henry Rocks will pick it up. Zeri with the double kill. They extended way too far forward, and Jax was able to sit in the backline completely for free and shut them down. And that means Dragon Soul, this cloud goes over to final boss. That was a very messy fight, but somehow the Jax with this massive CS lead and item lead in the top side wins the fight for them.
Yeah, great job by Jax just sticking in that pocket, just waiting for his moment here, grabbing that ult and really tanking it up as it were, and then just staying home and picking them off one by one. The Vi ult does go into the Jax, does pop up 3, Aurelion Soul popping down, but there's not enough burst unfortunately now with all the tank that's coming out here, and Jax with that CS lead becoming a giant monster and being able to really take whatever he wants.
Yeah, the Jax has been just monstrous in this game. You can see that the gold difference is up 4,500 gold at this point. This top difference is the entire gold lead for Final Boss. And now the Baron has spawned up once again. And Final Boss have all the prio on it, but Brother Arbor might be caught right here. The flick is going to land. His Brother Arbor going to get the ultimate off. Will, just in time. Zeta is going to use that Zhonya's to pop away from the ultimate Vi. Dashing away, we're going to keep an eye on that. Tick and the burn does kill the Vi. Colin is going to take one back for himself. So it's a 4v3 at the moment for this Baron contest. The Sivir is full health though, and this one is alive. Colin is slowly trying to run away from this. The brand. Yep, here comes the Jax. The shield is going to land from that storm. Let's see if the Volibear can stay alive and will. So throw down another storm for now. They're pinging onto the Baron. Talia has used that ultimate to fly all the way down to the bot side to put some counter pressure because she has teleport to come flying right back into the fight if she wants to. And now with no Kabutops alive and Zeta still with Smite available, this Baron is almost certainly going to go over to Final Boss, and that's going to give them up to nearly a 6,000 gold lead in this game.
Yeah, fight breaking out there, unfortunately, just a little bit of catastrophe spelling it out for him, and a little bit of too much back and forth in positioning. You know, if you group up that brand ult's going to be slapping down. There's going to be so much going on. Unfortunately, on the wrong end of the stick, Jax once again coming out from ahead on that. We'll see what next item he ends up picking up for that fourth item here, completion, and this is where the split monsters going to be happening here. You have the buffed up Baron Jax. He's going to be splitting all game. You send everyone to the opposite side, and now you almost have to contest with 3 people. Volibear's not going to be able to have enough. Vi's your primary engage. If you leave her, that leaves you with a crescendo on Sona, and you can't send any of the other 3 because I think Jax is just going to pounce on them as soon as they get within range.
Yeah, we can see there on the numbers, it is officially a flame horizon there for Shaktis on the Jax. Is up 101 CS over Colin. Not looking good at 5,000 gold lead for Final Boss. They're stealing away blue buff there as well. Gonna go over the entirety of the team. And now we just probably want to see how well Final Boss can use this Baron to push forward. They've used it so far to kind of steal away objectives and or the neutral monsters there in the jungle. But here we go. We might be looking for something here. Vi is kind of out of position. There she goes. She's dashed in, but is not going to get caught or anything. The brand pops the Omen. It's going to get stunned there, but that's an ultimate only onto 1. So the brand ultimate popped for basically no advantage whatsoever. Interesting. And Brent actually used the ghost too. Interesting.
Bounced to about 3 people there, but unfortunately not getting the right bounces to go back and forth and really taking down that one person to that 0. We see Volibear matching that Jax, but as we explained before, there's not a lot that Volibear can do. You can stall as much as you want, but eventually that Jax is going to have a final say at the end. The Railing Soul being able to really clear out the Baron minions as best as they can, along with that Sivir. It looks like the bot side now is the contention. They're going to start moving up here, and another fight could be breaking out here.
They're pushing in, they're crashing this wave in. Zary's going to be crashing the wave in top of there as well. The flick is not going to land. Sivir going to quickly just clear out that wave because you're a Sivir. And then Zary, meanwhile, has to push mid lane, though. And Aurelion Sol isn't going to be able to do much about it. Kabutops does come dashing in. Aurelion Sol pops the ultimate for basically just to kind of clear out the wave and keep it alive. Dragon, or Baron, I think, is probably going to be about to drop here any second. It's how much is it gone? It's mostly gone at this point, I do believe.
About probably 20 seconds at most here away from being fully used up.
See, can they get this final mid tower here? It's a nice key. The flick is going to get dodged away because Aurelion Sol finds a way for it, and the tower is finally going to drop. So the Sivir and the Aurelion Sol wave clear isn't strong enough to keep that tower alive forever. The inhibitor will stay alive though, so no super minions to worry about just yet. The rest of the team there for final boss working top side to quickly push this wave out, and they're going to get the flick onto nothing and then push in for this speed. Baron is gone though, so Aurelion Sol will be able to clear these out a lot quicker, and that tower will not drop. So it is a push. They do break open the base, but they don't take any inhibitors. And we're back to stagnation. Now here's the thing. Elder Dragon is spawning in 50 seconds, and with no inhibitor dropped mid lane, there you don't have to worry nearly as much if you're meant to say, hey, if we stall around for this Elder Dragon contest, we don't have to worry about super minions slowly winning the mid lane push, and so we can kind of stall out mid as long around this dragon as long as we want. And so I think there's going to be a big fight here, and whoever wins this Elder Dragon fight, as long as it's not like a 9 people die and only one person's left alive, this next fight will probably end the game right here.
Unless it's Jax. If Jax is soloing out, then that'll be it. But it looks like the fight's going to be breaking out here pretty shortly.
Jax just kind of looks to dash in. Zary is throwing in those abilities over the wall to try and get a little bit of poke damage. Kabutops has been caught up there by the Brand, but the final W there is going to be dodged away by Kabutops. And Ninja kind of split across the map here. Butters is in there carrying mid lane down here. Kabutops has been caught out a little bit. Has to take a lot of damage there by the Jax. Colin is looking to kind of go in. The sun's going to land on Jax. Here comes the Aurelion Sol ult. It lands onto 2. But Kabutops is jumping. There goes Zary, pops the ultimate. Here goes Colin jumping back in. But Butters is still free in the backside. The Splish, Spicy the Fish has landed. A nice ultimate is going to lock down. Here's Jax is picking up 1. Jax is picking up 2. Here comes Zary flashing and jumping in. Brother Otter. The Qs are going to land. Zary picks up a double kill there as well. And no Elder Dragon is even needed. They win 4 kills for nothing. Talia is catching that mid lane as well. They're going to drop that inhibitor, and with 50-second death timer on mid lane, 40-second death timer on Butters, the only person left alive is this top laner in the Volibear who's down 120 CS. So you really can't do much about this either. You don't have much weight, anything in lines of wave clear. Now maybe you can clear this one out, but we'll have to see if they can march this one down. Shaktas has taken 1 tower already. The second tower is getting closer. It's going to drop. It killed off the Volibear. No one's alive for 10 seconds. And ladies and gentlemen, we have a reverse sweep. Final boss will win the series 2-1.
They've proven themselves to be that final boss in a great team fight. Knowing the team is split, yes, they can come over and try to help with that Sivir ult, also with the Aurelion Sol being popped up. But unfortunately, there's too much time being taken for them to really sweep over and help, and they find themselves on a really bad fight of that dragon, unfortunately, and being able to take the victory.
It was just a little bit too split up on either side of that red buff. They were kind of taking 2 fights at the same time. The Volibear jumps in very aggressively while the Rakan dives the backline at the same time. And it's just with the pressure there of that fed Jax, and then the Zeri popping that ultimate and killing off 2 and chasing on to that Aurelion Sol to get the 3rd. It's just too much pressure there, and they lose that final fight. It was a mountain to climb because it's a Cloud Soul empowered final boss, and they do ultimately win the series off that last team fight.
Oh, great job by both teams, though. There was definitely swaying back and forth. We saw the Vault Breakers and the Vive really doing a good job with the Aurelion Sol, picking out those team fights, but as we saw is that, I think it was the Soul Dragon point there, where Jax did get tempted up there, but ended up coming towards that backside of the fight and really nailing down to Zuri picking up 2 as well, and that really swung the team fights in their favor.
That one team fight was really the breaking point when they dove too aggressively to chase onto the Zeri, who stayed alive the entire time, while Jax is just back there hitting him away with whatever weapon it was. Whatever it was, though, it did a lot of damage in that game. What a match, though, to watch. It was very close. So many moments that went back and forth, but ultimately Final Boss are victorious in this best of 3.
Yeah, great games by both. Definitely swinging the pendulum back and forth. All 3 games could have definitely went either way here, but unfortunately just a little bit too much of the Jax in that top lane and being able to be left alone and really farm up, causing that havoc.
That's going to be it from us here tonight, though. Congratulations to Final Boss for your victorious comeback against Mint Esports. I am Sharpie. This has been my wonderful caster with me, Gitano. Thank you all for tuning in with us tonight. Have a good one, and we will see you back here next week for some more Blue Water League in the Emerald Division. We'll see you next time.
Have a great one, everyone.